Chapter 1514. Isn't it your job to find the murderer? Why are you asking me that? You won't believe me even if I tell you. Actually, Mr. Qin, I'm curious. Why would you do something like this? With your status, you have a wife, friends, and family. How could you kill someone? However, our psychologist analyzed your recent state of mind. Because of the ups and downs in your business, you've been under a lot of psychological pressure and have nowhere to release it. At this time, Miss Song Yisher, who has admired you for a long time, came to you and slept with you. You regret it and don't want your wife to know, but you're also afraid that she'll expose you. That's why you've been hesitating between two women. An employee of your company saw that not long ago, Miss Song came to the company to look for you and had an argument with you. It's all because of this, right? When people are under a lot of pressure, they lose their ability to think and analyze. So, it's not impossible for you to kill someone under that kind of situation. It's just that, it's a bit too cruel to dismember her body. After all, she's a woman you've slept with. He Hongfei was a very subjective police officer. He always thought that he was right. So, he analyzed the evidence and came up with a series of speculations. Qin Chu glanced at him indifferently. I told you, I didn't kill anyone, and I definitely didn't dismember her body. Words are useless. The evidence is right in front of us. We will temporarily detain you at the municipal bureau and formally charge you in a week. Qin Chu didn't say anything. I heard that your legal team is very good. I look forward to fighting with them. I really want to see how they're going to exonerate a murderer. Ha! You make it sound like you're certain. If I'm not, then you'll be slapping yourself in the face. Qin Chu sneered. Really? I look forward to the moment you'll be slapped in the face. I want to see my wife. Qin Chu suddenly wanted to see Huamian. Before he left, he told her not to worry and that he would be back soon. But now, it seemed like he couldn't go back. With so much evidence, he was already determined to be a murderer. He was just one step away from going to court, so he would be detained for a while. I'm sorry, other than your special lawyer, we don't allow you to see anyone, including your family. Qin Chu fell silent again. Take him away. He Hongfei ordered, and two policemen took Qin Chu away from the interrogation room. When Gao Ran arrived at the municipal bureau, Qin Chu had already been taken away for interrogation. When Qin Chu came out, he saw, Qin Chu? What's going on? Gao Ran immediately rushed over. I didn't kill her. I was set up by that bastard. Qin Chu used that bastard instead of Huasi Qian, but Gao Ran immediately understood what was going on. Senior brother, this is my best friend. I grew up with him and I know him well. He won't kill anyone. Gao Ran, the law is merciless. Before the law, there is no such thing as friends and family. The evidence is conclusive. It's useless for you to say these things to me. Take him away, He Hongfei scolded coldly. Two policemen took Qin Chu away. He remembered that Gao Ran was running around in circles. Senior brother I request to be involved in this case. I want to do a thorough investigation and find out what's suspicious. I'm sorry, but because of your special relationship with the suspect, I can't approve it. You'll have your own personal feelings. Gao Ran, you've only been in the criminal police force for a few years, and I've been in the major crimes unit for a long time. Don't doubt my judgment, okay? After speaking, He Hongfei turned around and left. Gao Ran was so anxious that he scratched his head, but he didn't know what to do. In the end, he ran straight to the municipal bureau chief's office. It's not that I don't want to help you, but we don't have the power to intervene in this case. The mayor is very angry. Who doesn't understand the pain of losing his daughter? You saw the people from the province come down, and the major crimes unit has taken over. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You're not giving me face? You're forcing me to talk to my dad, right? It's useless to talk to your dad. He wouldn't dare to talk to the mayor about this. Just give up. The municipal bureau chief waved his hand and chased Gao Ran out of his office. Even his father, who was an official in the provincial public security department, was useless. It seemed that Mayor Song had given a death order this time. As soon as Gao Ran walked out of the municipal bureau, he saw that it was a call from Huamin. He picked up the phone hesitantly. Gao Ran, how's it going? How's Qin Chu doing? Huamin asked anxiously. Chapter 15:15. Gao Ran wanted to say something but stopped. He didn't dare to say it out loud, afraid that Huamin would be sad. Gao Ran, where are you right now? I'm at the entrance of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Wait for me, I'll be right there. Before Gao Ran could finish, Huamin hung up the phone. 18 minutes later, Huamin drove his Audi R8 all the way to the entrance of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Huamin, actually, before Gao Ran could finish, Huamin said anxiously, Gao Ran, we'll talk later. Take me inside first, I want to see Qin Chu. Then, Huamin walked inside. However, Gao Ran reached out his hand and stopped him. What's wrong? Huamin looked at Gao Ran in confusion. He looked at Huamin's sad face. Huamin, you can't see him. What do you mean? Huamin was slightly surprised. You can't see Qin Chu. Why? Huamin's heart sank. He's been detained. Detained? What do you mean? Didn't you say he's being interrogated? Huamin was even more confused. Song Yixia died and left behind a lot of evidence that points to Qin Chu as the murderer. Mayor Song takes this case very seriously and has already handed it over to the Provincial Major Crimes Division. They've always been swift and decisive. They want to detain Qin Chu first and charge him in court in a week. Charge him for what? Huamin's voice trembled. Qin Chu with murder. If he's convicted, what's going to happen? Huamin was already trembling with fear when he asked this question. Gao Ran looked at her with a conflicted expression. Then he lowered his head and said weakly, You should know our country's laws. Murder is punishable by death. Plus, this time, it's not just murder, it's dismemberment. This case has already caught the attention of the Provincial Public Security Bureau and has been named Major Homicide Case 327. After hearing Gao Ran's words, Huamin took a few steps back. He almost fell down the stairs. Luckily, Gao Ran reacted quickly and grabbed Hua's sleeve. Huamin, don't think too much, Qin Chu has GK's legal team. Plus, there's no way he killed anyone. If we have other evidence, it's not impossible for us to change his confession. Of course he wouldn't kill Song Yixia, because he was with me last night. The only time he went to Song Yixia's house was for a little while, so he didn't have time to kill her. You were with him, then how did you? Just as Gao Ran said this, he suddenly thought of something and didn't continue, and he saw Huamin say with tears in his eyes, Immediate family members can't be witnesses, I know. I understand. Indeed, even if they could prove that Huamin and Qin Chu were together, it wouldn't be of any use. She was Qin Chu's wife. Even if they divorced, she was still his ex-wife, so her testimony was invalid. Wuxia, that bastard? I don't know how long he's been planning this. How did he get so much evidence? Gao Ran remembered what Qin Chu just said, and his entire body trembled with anger. Huamin stopped crying and asked coldly, I don't know how long that bastard has been planning this. If only I didn't let Qin Chu go last night. It's all my fault, it's all my fault. Huamin began to blame himself. It's not your fault if you didn't let Qin Chu go, he would have had other ways. Wuxia, that psycho. Huamin clenched his fists tightly. Huamin, go home and wait for my news. I'll talk to my dad and see if he can talk to you and Qin Chu. It would be best if he could. Huamin looked at Gao Ran with tears in his eyes. He really wanted to see Qin Chu. Gao Ran, do you know the details of Song Yixia's death? What about the so-called evidence? No, I don't have the right to know about the tragedy. It's confidential. Didn't you see that no one mentioned the details of the death? Other than the insiders and family members, no one knows how Song Yixia died, let alone the details. Okay, I understand. Huamin nodded. Huamin, go home and get some rest. You don't look so good. Okay. After Huamin said goodbye to Gao Ran, he got into his sports car. However, he didn't go back to South Hill Manor. Instead, he drove straight to the Hua Corporation. Chapter 15:16. Huamin drove to the entrance of the Hua Corporation. Wuxia had just gotten into his Rolls-Royce Phantom and was about to meet with a client. He didn't expect Huamin to rush up to him. From the rearview mirror, he saw Huomin's R8 charging up. With a bang, Huomin's car crashed into Huoxiqian's car. This time, he used a lot of force. Fortunately, both cars were luxury cars and were very sturdy. If it were a small car from Japan or Korea, it would probably have been destroyed. My little sister me, you're really pissed off this time. Huoxiqian wasn't nervous at all. Instead, he smiled. Seeing that nothing was wrong, Huomin immediately reversed and crashed into him again. The sound was deafening, scaring the surrounding passers-by. They thought they were filming a disaster movie. Huomin was risking his life and wanted to kill Huoxiqian. Huomin used too much force the second time and crashed Huoxiqian's car into the wall of the building. Then Huomin reversed the car again. Then he rushed up again. If they crashed into each other again, the Rolls-Royce would probably be destroyed, and the people inside would probably be. Just as Huomin crashed into him for the third time, Huoxiqian reacted quickly and immediately opened the door and rolled out of the car. With a loud bang, the car in front was deformed from the impact, and the huge impact caused Huomin's R8 airbag to pop up. Huomin's chest might also have internal injuries. She raised her arm and wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. Then, she endured the pain and opened the car door to get out. She rushed up to Huoxiqian. Grabbing him by the collar, he gave him a tight slap across the face. This time, she didn't show any mercy. She used all her strength. Her palm instantly turned red from the slap, and there was a burning pain. Little sister me, you're so angry. Huoxiqian covered his face that was slapped. Instead of being angry, he laughed. In this world, if someone hit him, he wouldn't hold a grudge. Then this person could only be Huomin. Huoxiqian spoiled Huomin more than Qinchu. He spoiled you so much that he could kill and set fires. As long as you were willing, he was willing to destroy the world with you. Therefore, Huomin's anger was only childish and cute in Huoxiqian's eyes. Huoxiqian, I used to think that you were just despicable. Now, I realize that you're hopeless and crazy. I didn't expect you to kill Song Yishe in such a cruel way. I also didn't expect you to use my background to lure Qinchu into your trap, just to kill him. I used to think that even if you were bad, you still had a little conscience. Now, I realize that you don't have any at all, because you're not human at all. Huomin used to think that Huoxiqian was a good person. He knew that she had gastric problems and could prepare medicine for her. He could prepare breakfast, supper, and even all kinds of makeup for her. She thought that a person with the potential of a warm man like him might not be too bad. During that time, he prepared birthday presents for Huomin and occasionally flirted with her on WeChat. The truth was, Huomin's opinion of him was about to change. He didn't even feel as hostile as before. However, ever since Huo Zhenghai died, Huoxiqian took over the power and seemed to be getting more and more unscrupulous. Moreover, he was always targeting Qinchu. Huomin knew that it was all because of her. That was why she was even angrier. If she caused Qinchu's death because of Huoxiqian's feelings for her, then it wouldn't be a matter of guilt. She would be in so much pain that she wanted to die, and she wouldn't be able to face the two elders of the Qin family. Why were they so good to her? Me, have I ever told you that I love you so much? Huoxiqian touched the scar on his face and smiled gently at Huomin. Only someone like Huoxiqian would confess to her in such an occasion. Chapter 15-17. Do you know what love is? Huomin laughed mockingly. The word, love, coming from someone like Huoxiqian was funny and ironic. Of course I know. Love is giving her the best and keeping her by your side, forever. Huoxiqian's understanding of love was unique and domineering. He felt that love was about obtaining, possessing, and being together forever. He never thought that love was about understanding, tolerance, forbearance, or even putting yourself in the other person's shoes. He didn't want the other person to feel wronged. Oh, forget it. Someone like you shouldn't talk about love. Your love is too heavy, I can't bear it. No, you can't. You're the only one in the world who can bear my love for you. Leave Qinchu. Whether it's him or Su Yu, they don't really love you. Qinchu wants to be with you because of your talent, and Su Yu wants to be with you because he can't have you. I'm the only one who knows how long I've waited for this day. It wasn't easy for me to become so strong, and I've been careful with every step I took, stepping over so many people to get to where I am, just so I can have the right to say that I love you. In fact, I'm willing to give up on fame and money. Really, as long as you say the word, I'll give you everything I have. As long as you're willing to be by my side, I'll have everything that Qianchu has, and I'll have everything that Qianchu doesn't have. I can even help you find the family you want to find the most. Isn't that great? Hua Xiqian's eyes were sincere when he said these words. At least, Huamin had never seen Hua Xiqian's eyes as clear and pure as they had known each other for so long. There was no ulterior motive or taint in his eyes. He was like a teenager confessing to his sweetheart. That's impossible. Hua Xiqian, I'll only love Qianchu in my life. I won't leave him. What if he dies? Then I'll die too. Huamin didn't even think about it. Pa, you won't die. You will live on. Even without Qianchu, you will still live on. Cut the crap, Hua Xiqian. You've done so many things, I really can't forgive you. I don't need your forgiveness, nor do I need your understanding. I just want to take you back, that's all. After he finished speaking, Hua Xiqian walked up to Huamin and reached out his hand to tidy up Huamin's messy hair. However, Huamin was very defensive. She reached out and grabbed Hua Xiqian's face. A security guard rushed up from behind and pressed down on his shoulder. Let her go. President Hua, this crazy woman is very dangerous. She almost hit him. I said let her go. Are you deaf? Hua Xiqian scowled. The security guard immediately let go of Huamin. Huamin quietly looked at Hua Xiqian's face for a long time. Then he said, You want to continue playing? Fine, I'll play with you. If you think you can control the situation, then I'll show you. No one in this world can hurt Qianchu, because he's my man. Let's wait and see. Let's see who has the last laugh. After saying these domineering words, Huamin turned around and left. He left the broken R8 behind. Hua Xiqian watched as Huamin's petite figure gradually disappeared into the distance. The corners of his mouth rose slightly again. My Mian, you're so cute when you're being willful. On the way back, Huamin's phone rang. Mian. Xiaowei. What's the situation? I can't explain it in a few sentences. I'll go and find you now. After Huamin spoke, he took a taxi to Jiang Xiaowei's home. He didn't expect to see Su Yu and Wei Liao here. Are you hurt? Su Yu saw Huamin and immediately stood up, looking nervous. Chapter 15:18. I'm fine. Huamin coughed a few times as pain came from his chest. She had really gone all out just now, however, she didn't do it out of impulse. If she could really kill Hua Xiqian, then everything would be over, but Huamin lowered his head and sat on the sofa in Jiang Xiaowei's living room. What's going on? Did you go to war? Seeing Huamin's messy hair, Jiang Xiaowei walked over worriedly. I just got into a small car accident. Wei Liao was speechless, Jiang Xiaowei was speechless, Su Yu was speechless. Small car accident. Jiang Xiaowei was dumbfounded. I drove to the Hua Corporation and hit Hua Xiqian's car. My beloved R8 was destroyed. Wei Liao was speechless, Jiang Xiaowei was speechless, Su Yu was speechless. Are you crazy? Su Yu couldn't hold it in anymore and cursed angrily. I really want him to die, because if he doesn't die, Qianchu will die, Huamin said quietly. She was telling the truth. Hua Xiqian was crazy, he had no bottom line. As long as he lived in this world, he would definitely think of ways to deal with Qianchu. There are many ways to kill him, you don't have to do it yourself. Who said you were a genius? I think you're just an idiot. After speaking, Su Yu walked over angrily and dragged Huamin out. Where are we going? The hospital. I'm not going. You have to go. I'm fine. Even if you're fine, you have to go. Just like that, under Su Yu's rough pull, Huamin was forced into the Lamborghini. Thoracic department of the first hospital. The doctor held the film and said slowly, Dr. Hua, you're lucky that you didn't injure your internal organs, just your chest. You have to be more careful in the future. Be careful when you drive. I know. Thank you, Dr. Wang. No need. I'll prescribe you some anti-inflammatory medicine. Take it first and pay attention to rest when you go back. If you feel a lot of pain, You can get an anti-inflammatory injection. It'll heal faster. All right. Huamin suffered some internal injuries from the collision. Su Yu saw this and felt pain in his heart. She wished that she was the one who was injured. The two of them walked out of the thoracic surgery department, but the atmosphere was still gloomy. Su Yu was furious. He was angry that Huamin didn't care about his own safety and fought with Huasiqian. Su Yu, are you angry? I can't be bothered with you. If you want to court death, who can stop you? Alright, don't be angry. I'm really just too angry. Even so, you can't use the method of mutual destruction, you idiot. Su Yu looked at Huamin angrily. He really wanted to pinch her face for being so stubborn. This time, Qin, I'm afraid that he's really in trouble. Huamin bit his lips and said, he didn't kill anyone. They should be able to find out, right? No, the evidence is conclusive. It was all Huasiqian's scheme. He killed Song Yishe and framed Qin. It was a perfect and flawless plan. Then, why didn't the police investigate Huasiqian? Su Yu asked. He had time to testify. Don't worry. I believe that the law will give Qin justice. No, the law will only kill him. If the law and evidence are followed, Qin is dead meat. Huamin's heart was heavy. Then what do you want to do? Su Yu frowned and looked at Huamin. He was afraid that she would do something stupid again. I haven't thought about it yet. There's still time. Let's think about it at length. There's no rush. Don't be stupid again. Huasiqian won't be killed so easily. I know. Huamin lowered his head. It was as if his entire being had been sucked out of him. He was listless. Huamin, yeah? Cheer up, hang in there. Don't fall. Huamin nodded. Tell me what you need me to do. I'll definitely help you. Okay. At the entrance of the Hua Corporation, the young security guard carefully went over to help Huasiqian up. However, he was kicked to the ground. The young security guard was a little dumbfounded. President Hua? If you dare to touch her again, I'll chop you into minced meat. Huasiqian glanced coldly at the young security guard's innocent face. Chapter 1519. After saying this, Huasiqian coughed violently. Blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth. President Qin. The security guard was so scared that he wanted to help him up. Fuck off. Qin said coldly, rejecting everyone's concern. Huasiqian raised his right hand and gently pressed it against his chest. Then he smiled helplessly. This damned girl is really ruthless. It hurts. Huamin's 3 consecutive collisions caused the $10 million luxury car to be scrapped. It also caused him and Huasiqian to both suffer internal injuries. Huasiqian managed to escape and jumped out of the car. However, the first 2 collisions were still quite painful. He swore that if the person who hit him wasn't Huamin, he would have done it. He would have taken revenge and cut her into pieces. However, because it was Huamian, he was willing to tolerate everything. Even if one day he could die in her hands, it would be a blessing. Huasiqian used to think that he was born to endure all the pain. Until Huamin appeared, no one knew that to Huasiqian, Huamin was the only ray of sunshine in his dark world. He even thought that if Huamin wanted, he would be willing to become a good person for her. However, did he still have the chance to be a good person? Huasiqian held his chest and silently returned to his office. Mian, no matter what you did wrong, I won't blame you. His voice was very soft as a feather. In this world, only he could hear this doting voice. After Huamin left the hospital, he parted ways with Su Yu. Then he drove to Immortal's mansion. To Huamin's surprise, the person who opened the door was Jiang Yi. Moreover, he was only wearing a nightgown. It seemed like the rumors were true. Immortal had been going back and forth between Huasiqian and Jiang Yi. To be more precise, she loved Huasiqian, but when Huasiqian didn't touch her, she would look for Jiang Yi to relieve her loneliness. Jiang Yi was a little surprised to see Huamin. I'm looking for Immortal, she said calmly. Come in. Jiang Yi opened the door and let Huamin in. Huamin only wore a black leather jacket, jeans, and short leather boots. She was still dressed like a young girl, but the color of her body was darker. It could be seen that she was in a very heavy mood. Shui, you have guests. Jiang Yi yelled up the stairs. Shui, came downstairs in a white nightgown. Her hair was still wet, probably because she just came out of the shower. When she saw Huamin, Shui, sneered, "Oh, what brings our young lady Qin here?" "Oh, wait, you can't be called a young lady anymore, because President Qin already announced to the world that he wants to divorce you. Let's talk." Huamin glanced at Shui's face calmly. "What's there to talk about? Isn't it obvious that we're enemies?" Shui's attitude was arrogant. She didn't need to pretend to get close to Huamin like she did before. She already showed her hatred for Huamin on her face. "I think you'll be interested in what I have in my hand." As he spoke, Huamin took out a folder from his pocket and threw it on the coffee table. Shui glanced at it and then looked at Jiang Yi. "Honey, you go upstairs first, I'll talk to her." "Okay, you guys take your time." When Jiang Yi walked past Huamin, he smiled. "Baby, do you want some tea?" "No need." Huamin didn't like Jiang Yi at all. He always thought that the man had a glib tongue. "Okay then, I'll be going." Jiang Yi turned around and went upstairs. Shui walked over, sat on the sofa, and lit herself a cigarette. "What is it?" "Take a look at this first." Huamin pointed at the folder. Chapter 1520. Shui had a cigarette in her mouth. She held a file in one hand and opened it with the other. When she saw the documents and photos inside, she froze for a moment before she smiled. "What do you mean by this? You only have one little brother. You love him a lot, don't you?" Huamin asked. Shui nodded. "I also have a younger brother and I love him very much, so I can understand how you feel. It's just that your brother seems to be a little too eager for quick success. Behind all these years of glory, his hands are dripping with blood, and he's shouldering so many lives. He cut corners on construction projects, caused car accidents in order to win against his opponents, and even bribed the customs officials with large sums of money. Tell me, if I were to send these things to the police, what would happen?" Shui glared at Huamin coldly. "Are you threatening me? You can think of it that way." Huamin smiled. A long time ago, Wei Dong accidentally told her that Shui's little brother was in the construction industry. The Mo family was famous in the construction industry, and Shui's little brother was also a young entrepreneur. However, there were many secrets behind all this glory. Huamin didn't investigate all of this out of the blue. In fact, Huamin had been preparing for this since the moment Shui turned against her. She had a feeling that Shui would one day face off against her. She just didn't expect that day to come so soon. "What do you want me to do?" Shui finished her cigarette in a few puffs and slammed it into the ashtray. "It's simple, I want you to tell me the truth." "What do you mean?" Shui smiled at Huamin. "Don't play dumb. On the day Song Yisher died, it was 3 in the morning. Huaxiqian was definitely not with you. You used your relationship with Huaxiqian to disguise him. You can fool others, but you can't fool me. I know you love Huaxiqian a lot, so you're willing to do anything for him. But at the same time, I love Qin Chu a lot, so I'm willing to do anything for Qin Chu. So let's make a deal. You go to the police station and I'll give you all of this evidence, and you'll never mention it again." "Why should I believe you?" Shui sneered. "Because you don't have a choice. If you don't agree, I'll send your little brother to jail. With all of this evidence, he might never be released. Do you really want to see him like this?" "Huamin, you're pretty much ruthless." "You're right, I've never been gentle." Huamin smiled. "They all say that the young madam of the Qin family is gentle and amiable, but I think it's all nonsense. You're actually the same as me, someone who will do anything to achieve her goals. It's just that your methods are a little better and you hide it very well, making everyone think that you're very good. Do you know that people like you are usually called scheming bitches?" Huamin wasn't angry. Instead, he responded calmly, "As long as I can save Qin Chu, I don't care what people say about me. You can do whatever you want." Shui fell silent. She had always known what her younger brother had done. The reason why she didn't do anything was because she thought that she was strong enough and that no one would be able to use her against her. Even if they did, she would be able to take care of them. If she couldn't, Wuxia would. But now, if Huamin found out about her brother and sent him to jail, Wuxia probably wouldn't do anything about it. This was because Wuxia doted on Huamin like crazy. Even if Huamin killed someone, he would still praise her for doing a good job. Therefore, Imoshua was conflicted. Huamin looked up at his watch. I'll give you 3 minutes to think about it. Make a choice. Chapter 1521. To his surprise, Imoshua immediately rejected him. There's no need to think about it. I won't agree to it. Don't you care about your brother's life? You'd rather help someone like Wuxia commit perjury? Huamin was surprised. I think you're mistaken about something. I don't even know what you mean by perjury. On the day Xianxia died, I was with Wuxia the entire night. That's the truth. I didn't commit perjury at all. If I deliberately framed Wuxia to save my brother, then I would feel guilty. Imoshua, do you really love him that much? Huamin looked at Imoshua with disappointment. This has nothing to do with love. That's the truth. He was with me on the day of the murder. Imoshua, if you protect this devil today, one day, you'll end up like Xianxia. Huamin gave her the most direct warning. Thank you for your reminder, but I won't. I'm not as stupid as Xianxia. Imoshua smiled. Very well, if that's the case, then that's that. Huamin picked up the file and turned around to leave. Before she came, she thought that since Imoshua loved her brother so much, even if she didn't agree to help her, she would be conflicted for a while, or rather, she would give herself away. However, no matter how hard Huamin tried to pry information out of her, she refused to admit that she was lying. She even insisted that Wuxia was with her on the day of the murder. This woman was so stubborn that no medicine could save her. After getting into the taxi, Huamin put on his earphones. He listened to the recording from just now. There really wasn't a single flaw. It seemed like the information and listening devices he prepared were all for nothing. When he returned to Sky Blessing Court, the sky was already dark. Huamin sat in the cold living room, thinking about how to save Qin Chu. Just then, his phone rang. Huamin picked up the video call. Sis, Jixing. Sis, why didn't you tell me that something so big happened in China? You even tricked Mom into coming to New Zealand. Luckily, she can't read English. Otherwise, she'd be crazy. Sis, how are you? How's brother-in-law? I read in the Global Times that brother-in-law killed someone. Is that true? No, he didn't kill anyone. He was set up. How did this happen? Jing Jixin looked anxious. This matter is very complicated. Can't it be explained in a few sentences? Sis, I'll go back and help you. You can't help me. If you come back, I'll just have one more weakness. Huamin's straightforward words made Jixin fall silent. He could understand his sister's helplessness and heartache. Sis, I'm sorry. All these years, you've been shouldering everything by yourself. Jixin was filled with guilt. I won't. I'm the older sister, so I'm supposed to protect everyone. Jixin, take good care of Mom. When this is over, Qin Chu and I will go to New Zealand to find you guys. Okay. Jixin nodded. Sis, Emmichan? Good luck. I believe in you. Huamin was very happy to hear Jixin's voice at a time like this. After hanging up, Huamin returned to reality. Since Imoshua refused to testify, they had to give up on this breakthrough. How could they prove that Qin Chu didn't kill anyone? After Qin Chu got into trouble, everyone was busy trying to help Huamin. There was only one person who was still very calm. Rick stood up in his office on the top floor of Seductive Fox. He put on his black leather gloves. Boss, you don't have to do it yourself, right? The bodyguard beside him was worried. If I go, the chances of winning will be much higher. Then, Rick turned around and left. Chapter 1522. In the middle of the night, it was eerily quiet. Based on the information he had gathered, he discovered that Wuxia had been living alone in the Hua mansion. The private mansion he used for his wedding with Song Yisher had already been sold at a low price. Wuxia, who owned so many properties, seemed to only be interested in the Hua mansion. After Jiang Hong fell out with Wuxia, she packed her things in a fit of anger and moved out of the Song mansion. She no longer cared about the Hua family or the Hua corporation. In less than a year, Wuxia was the only one left in the Hua family's once bustling mansion. He even fired all the servants. He rarely visited Mo Shui and Wang Xianxia, and even if he didn't spend the night there. It was getting harder and harder for outsiders to understand Wuxia now. When Rick arrived, he realized that the mansion was very quiet. He thought that Wuxia would hire bodyguards 24/7, but it seemed like that wasn't the case. This reminded him of Qin Chu's words before he was detained. He mentioned that Wuxia might have a double identity. The 6 years in Germany weren't simple. However, Rick had never seen Wuxia show off his skills. Even when Qin Chu pointed a gun at him, he only smiled. This man was extremely shrewd. He had already reached the point of perfection. No one could see through his heart and predict his next move. That was the most frightening thing about him. Rick took out a high-tech jammer and blocked all the surveillance cameras in and out of the Hua mansion. The clear surveillance cameras instantly turned into snowflakes. Rick flipped over the wall and jumped in. His movements were clean and efficient. Yes, he didn't trust his subordinates to do this anymore. They would only be sending themselves to their deaths. This time, for his good friend Qin Chu, he decided to do it himself. There was no light in the dark mansion. Rick carefully groped his way into the courtyard. The sound was very soft, and the mansion was very quiet. He took out his scanner and found signs of a living being in the room at the end of the second floor. Rick went up to the second floor with his bare hands, without making a sound. A gust of cold wind blew past, and the white curtains of the bedroom on the second floor fluttered. Rick moved quickly. He walked to the bed, lifted the blanket, and pointed a gun at it. Meow, 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 meow. A fat cat was tied up in the blanket, meowing softly. It was only then that Rick realized that he had been tricked. The moment he turned, the lights in the room suddenly. "I've been waiting for you, my friend." Wuxia played with a lighter in his hand. Rick quickly pointed the gun at Hua's head. "I'm a good shooter," Rick said. Wuxia smiled. "I know. Let Qin Chu go, bro. I didn't catch him. How can I release him?" Wuxia continued to laugh. Of the Hua you. What if I don't? Wuxia of the night looked up provocatively and stared into Rick's eyes. "Then today will be the day of your death," Rick said coldly. Wuxia of the night glanced at the golden pistol in Rick's hand and smiled faintly. Swedish P226 pistol, a double-action semi-automatic pistol with a 9x19mm caliber. It was officially adopted by the U.S. military in 2010 and was renamed the 25 Malawian Kwachas. It's now the standard pistol of the U.S. Marine Corps. "Bro, you've got a pretty good weapon. It's enough to kill you." Rick's eyes were still cold. He didn't want to waste time talking to this guy. He just wanted to end this as soon as possible and save Qin Chu. When he came, he brought 2 things with him. First, he wanted to threaten Wuxia into letting Qin Chu go. Secondly, if the threat didn't work, he could kill Wuxia. That would eliminate future problems and make Qin Chu's business much easier. Otherwise, no matter who it was that wanted to save Qin Chu, this guy would be in the way. "You're wrong. You don't need such a good weapon to kill me. A normal .54 pistol is enough. If you don't want to die, hurry up and let Qin Chu go." "I'm sorry. I can't let him go. It took me a long time to come up with this perfect plan. Do you think it's that easy to catch Qin Chu? How can I give up so easily?" "Is that so? If that's the case, then I'll have to kill you." After Rick finished speaking, he slowly pulled the trigger. Chapter 1523. Just as he was about to shoot, Wuxia took out his phone and asked, "Do you want to watch a video first?" Rick immediately felt that something was amiss and stopped. "What are you up to now?" "I heard you're in a relationship." Rick was speechless. Wuxia said, "Your girlfriend has a nice body." Rick replied, "What do you want?" At this moment, Rick had a bad feeling in his heart. Cece texted him this morning that she was going hiking with her college friends, so he didn't think too much about it. Could it be? Here? I'll show you a fun video. I believe you'll like it. After speaking, Wuxia opened a video on his phone and showed it to Rick. In the video, Cece was wearing a long black down jacket. Her hands and feet were tied and her mouth was taped shut. Her face was covered in tears. She looked very pitiful. She couldn't speak, so she could only make sobbing sounds. Next to her, there was someone who was tugging at her long hair. Rick's heart ached when he saw this. Do you feel bad for her? I heard you love your girlfriend a lot? Wuxia continued to laugh. Wuxia, what do you want? Rick's face was unbelievably cold. What do I want? You're asking me this? I don't think I've offended you. Rick, you're a smart person. You've been in China for so many years, so you should have heard of the old saying, don't meddle in other people's business. Qin Chu, Huamin, and I don't want any third party to interfere. You're so nosy. I guess I'll have to use some extreme measures. Let Cece go. It's not my family's business. Rick felt that in this world, at the very least, there should be some justice in the pugilistic world, right? However, Wuxia only chuckled when he heard this. Then he looked up and said, Morals? Stop messing around. What day and age are we living in? It's not my family's business. Let's be clear, she's not your family yet. She's just your girlfriend. Do you really care that much about her? Let Cece go, or I'll kill you right now. Sure. Go ahead. After speaking, Qin Chu opened the lid of the lighter in his hand. I recently got a new treasure, a miniature bomb, right? It's very small, and it can be tied to a person's head. Then, when I gently pressed the switch in my hand, with a bang, not to mention a person, even an elephant would be blown to pieces in an instant. Their brains would flow all over the ground. That scene is really exciting. What do you want? Rick's expression remained calm. However, his heart was already in turmoil. Look at how lucky your girlfriend is to be able to test out the most advanced weapon I bought. You said you'd shoot me, but I don't think I'll be able to press this switch in time. Wuxia, fuck your mother. Rick, who had always been cold and calm, finally couldn't take it anymore and cursed. However, Wuxia didn't care at all. If you really kill me by accident and I don't have time to press the switch, then I'll have to trouble my subordinates to detonate the bomb for me. A female college student suicide bomber, TSK. How satisfying. Let Cece go. Rick couldn't take it anymore and roared. But you have to get out of this. You can't get involved in this anymore. Or else. Rick didn't say anything, but his gun was still pointed at Wuxia. You have 10 seconds to consider. After 10 seconds, I'll detonate the bomb. Aren't you afraid of dying? Rick asked angrily. But I think it's a blessing to have a pretty college student die with me. Chapter 1524. Wuxia knew from the beginning that Rick wouldn't shoot. In the end, Rick was defeated in the confrontation. He slowly put down his gun. Let Cece go. This was the third time he repeated this sentence. He wanted to avenge Qin Chu, even if it cost him his life. But he couldn't just watch Cece die in front of him, and in such a cruel way. Therefore, for the first time, Rick was scared. He felt sorry for his brother and Huamin. When he brought Cece back from the abandoned factory, he finally understood why Qin Chu was willing to risk his life to save Huamin and get shot in the heart. It was because there was someone in this world who would occupy your heart and make you love them more than your life. Inside Mo Shui's private mansion, Jiang Yi kissed Mo Shui's neck and asked intimately, Shui, did you really reject Huamin? Do you feel bad for him? Mo Shui asked sourly. No, I just think, is it really worth it for you to help Wuxia like this? He's a devil who doesn't even care about his own family. He's capable of doing anything. Only Jesus can take care of someone like him. I didn't help him. The truth is, he was with me the whole night. Don't ask me about this again. I don't want to repeat it. Mo Shui's face darkened. She pushed Jiang Ye's hand away and got off the bed. Huamin couldn't fall asleep in Sky Blessing Court for a long time. She took out her phone and looked at the recent news and reactions on Weibo. A lot of people were cursing her and Qin Chu's Weibo. Huamin's Weibo was even filled with Huamin's loyal fans. I think Qin Chu is a coward. How could he bear the crime of murder? Looks like GK's president is nothing but a coward. Yeah, every time Qin Chu gets into trouble, Mian has to clean up after him. He's so unmanly. I hate him. You guys are right. I also think Qin Chu is too weak and timid. He lost to Huasiqian in business, and now he even killed his wife for revenge. How low is he? Yeah, didn't they say this couple was a genius? How are they geniuses? Huamin was furious when she saw these comments. I never thought Mr. Qin was weak and easy to bully. He just has a bottom line. If he was willing to risk everything and do anything like some scumbags, he wouldn't be in this situation now. Don't just look at things on the surface. Please analyze the human nature on a deeper level. A lot of things aren't as simple as they seem. Also, you guys only saw me cleaning up after Mr. Qin, but you never saw him go through fire and water for me. That's why people always look at the gains and losses in front of them, not the past. No matter what he did to me, it's unfair to me. Also, this is between us, we don't need outsiders to comment on it. Everyone, please shut up and go to sleep. I'll solve my own problems. Whether I'm a genius or whether my husband is smart or not, it has nothing to do with you guys. Huamin took a deep breath. In the past year of their marriage, Mr. Qin performed a difficult surgery for Jixin. She was blackmailed for saving a pregnant woman. Mr. Qin helped her suppress all kinds of negative comments. She got into a fight and got sued for lingling, and Mr. Qin hired a lawyer for her. When she got drunk and caused trouble, Mr. Qin was angry but allowed it. When she was kidnapped, Mr. Qin went to help her. It all felt like just yesterday. Jiang Shaowei saw Huamin's post in the middle of the night, so she immediately reposted it and commented, "My meme is mighty." Some anti-fans are just asking for it. If Mr. Qin is weak, then there won't be any strong men in this world. Jiang Shaowei vaguely remembered the time when Qin Chu saved Huamin by himself. He was shot in the heart and was on the brink of death. If a man was willing to risk his own life to save a woman, then he must love her to death. Because people only have one life, not many people would dare to gamble on it. Huamin was depressed. Just as he was about to log out of Weibo, he saw a private message from Suyu. "You're so angry, do you want to come out for a drink?" Chapter 1525. Yes. It was rare that Huamin didn't reject him. Suyu just wanted to comfort her because she was in a bad mood. He didn't expect Huamin to be willing to come out for a drink. At such a sensitive time, Huamin's every move was being watched. Therefore, the two of them thought it would be better to meet in private. In the end, they decided to meet at Suyu's private mansion. After Huamin's R8 was destroyed, she still had a lot of cars at home, but she didn't drive them. The license plates of the luxury cars at home were too eye-catching. As soon as she went out, she would be targeted by the paparazzi. Therefore, Huamian changed into a low-key black sweater jacket and a black baseball cap with the brim pulled down. She took a taxi to Suyu's mansion. At first, Suyu was afraid that it wouldn't be good for the two of them to meet alone. He wanted to ask Tang Chuan, Wei Liao, and Jiang Shaowei to come. However, to his surprise, Huamin said that it was okay. She wanted to talk alone. When they arrived at Suyu's house, it was already 10 at night. There were many snacks and beers on the coffee table. Suyu was a little nervous. Like a child who was about to meet someone important, he kept looking at his watch. Then, he kept sending messages on WeChat, worried about Huamin. If he wasn't afraid of being photographed, he really wanted to drive his Lamborghini to Sky Blessing Court to pick her up. Why did he have to be so sneaky like a thief? Ding dong, the doorbell rang. Suyu immediately got up to open the door. When Huamin came, she was carrying a big grocery bag. "What the hell are you carrying?" Suyu was puzzled. "Fruit." Suyu was speechless. "I'm not visiting a patient. Do you need to buy fruit? It's my first time visiting your house. Don't you think it's awkward to come empty-handed?" After Huamin entered the house, he casually placed the fruits on the cabinet by the door and took the initiative to change into his slippers. It seemed that Suyu really didn't have a woman living in his house, because there were more than 10 pairs of men's slippers in the shoe cabinet. And they were all black, gray, and navy blue. Huamin did not regard himself as an outsider. He simply took a pair of cute Totoro slippers and put them on. These slippers are cute. I'm guessing they're not yours. Huamin smiled. Su Yu rolled his eyes at her. Am I that childish? I'm guessing it's Tang Chuan's. Huamin continued to chuckle. Can you stop showing off your IQ in front of me? It's as if we're all idiots in front of you. Su Yu felt that Huamin was sometimes too smart, so he didn't even have a little secret. He couldn't even tease her. How boring. Is the wine ready? Su Yu froze. Didn't you ask me to come out for a drink? Yes, beer, white wine, red wine, or foreign wine, whatever you like. Although the wine cellar in Su Yu's house was not as big and magnificent as the wine cellar in South Hill Manor, it was still filled with wine. But there was not a lack of variety. White wine, a stronger one. Huamin ordered. How about ergot? Su Yu smiled. Sure. Then, Su Yu really went to get 2 bottles of high-quality ergot. Although Huamin had a good alcohol tolerance, he rarely drank white wine because it was too strong. Also, when he drank strong white wine, he would feel as if he was on fire, from his throat to his stomach. Since he asked for white wine, it was obvious that Huamin's mood was also extremely depressed. Let's have 500 grams first, we'll split it. Su Yu said and poured a glass for Huamin, then poured a glass for himself. Huamin sat on the sofa and took off his sweater jacket. Inside, he wore a simple white round-neck t-shirt. But because it was so simple, it made people feel comfortable looking at it. Su Yu wasn't straight, but he still felt that compared to those messy so-called trends, simple things were more moving. Su Yu also loved the color white, so he also wore a limited edition Versace t-shirt with some patterns on it. Huamin glanced at the snacks on the table and looked at Su Yu with disdain. He said helplessly, Big brother, don't you have anything hot to eat at home? It's so cold in winter and you're giving me these things. Is this how you treat your guests? Chapter 1526. I'll call for takeout now. Su Yu picked up his phone and was about to dial. Forget it, it's already so late. We'll be full by the time it arrives. What should we do? Su Yu was at a loss. He rarely had guests in his house, so he didn't prepare anything to eat. He bought these snacks last time when Tang Chuan and the others came to play Do Diju. The problem was that he didn't expect Huamin to come to his house, so he wasn't prepared at all. Do you have ingredients at home? Su Yu didn't know how to answer. Huamin didn't ask anymore. She got up and walked to the fridge. She opened the double-door fridge and found that it wasn't empty. There were a lot of beer, popsicles, and some easy-to-store food inside. Huamin rummaged through the cabinets and finally went into the kitchen with the ingredients. What's going on? Su Yu stood at the kitchen door, still confused. I'm going to cook a few dishes. Otherwise, your stomach won't be able to take it if you just eat those things and drink white wine. Huamin was a doctor, so she was very particular about her health. While Su Yu was still in a daze, Huamin finished cooking a dish. Then, she turned around and handed it to Su Yu. Hold it, I'll cook another one. When Su Yu held the green pepper scrambled eggs, he still felt like everything in front of him was unreal. Huamin, the girl he liked so much, was in his kitchen at this moment. She was cooking for him? This was something he didn't even dare to dream about. It was too extravagant. Before he left, he stole a glance at Huamin, who was busy in the kitchen. Her slim figure made his heart skip a beat. 10 minutes later, Huamin came in with another dish, stir-fried broccoli with sliced meat. Then, she went back into the kitchen and brought out a bowl of soup. You don't have enough seasonings, so this is the best I can do. Su Yu looked at the wax melon vermicelli soup and felt an indescribable warmth in his heart. What are you waiting for? Eat a few mouthfuls, then drink. Huamin was not reserved or pretentious at all. She was very casual, as if she and Su Yu were old friends who had known each other for many years. The two of them did not speak much as they were both busy eating. To be honest, Su Yu had eaten a lot of delicacies, so in comparison, Huamin's cooking could only be considered not bad. Because it was made by Huamin, Su Yu felt happy with every bite. How does it taste? Huamin asked casually. It's just so. Lord Su said proudly. It's good enough to have something to eat. Don't be so picky. Huamin smiled. Do you cook a lot at home? Su Yu held his bowl of rice and glanced at Huamin. No, ever since I married Qin Chu, I rarely cook because his cooking is much better than mine. When she mentioned Qin Chu, Huamin's eyes changed, filled with love. To be honest, Su Yu was really jealous. When this man was not by Huamin's side, when she mentioned him, Huamin would become different. How deep were their feelings for each other? I saw the comments on your Weibo. You don't have to be so calculative, other people can say whatever they want. Just be yourself. Su Yu tried to persuade her. If they're talking about me, then I'll do whatever they want. I won't respond to them no matter how harsh their words are. It's just that they said that Qin Chu is weak and useless, and that really crossed my bottom line. I know Qin Chu's personality better than anyone else. Even though we haven't been together for a long time, we know each other very well. Qin Chu has always been considerate of me, and he would rather suffer 1,000 grievances than let me get hurt. Wuxia is also very smart. He saw through Qin Chu's weakness, and that's why he pushed him step by step and set him up. If Qin Chu had no bottom line like him and could trample on other people's lives, I bet the grass on Wuxia's grave is taller than mine. Chapter 1527. Su Yu nodded. I know, Qin Chu is a respectable opponent. Even when he was in a stalemate with me, he didn't use despicable methods. I like honest and upright people. Winning or losing doesn't matter. What matters is the character of the person. Humans are different from animals because they have emotions and desires. They have a heart of compassion and a heart of compassion. Animals, on the other hand, can do whatever they want without fear. Qin Chu's weakness is me, and I have become his most fatal weakness. If I don't help him now, then no one will understand him. I can tolerate people talking about me 100 times, but I can't tolerate people talking bad about Qin Chu. After saying this, Huamin raised his glass and smiled. I'll drink, you can do whatever you want. After speaking, Huamin downed the entire glass of white wine in one gulp, which made Su Yu tremble in fear. Don't drink so fast, you'll get drunk. It's okay, I didn't plan on leaving sober today. Huh? Aren't you afraid that I'll take advantage of you if you get drunk? Su Yu asked jokingly. Huamin asked calmly, do you know how to do it? Su Yu was slightly surprised by this question. Yes. Would he? No, he wouldn't. If he wanted to use despicable methods to get Huamin, he would have done it a long time ago. It was because Huamin understood Su Yu that he trusted him so much. This kind of trust made Su Yu feel both touched and sad. He was touched by Huamin's trust in him. Sadly, he felt like there was a ditch between them that could never be crossed. And that ditch was Qin Chu in Huamin's heart. Huamin, Su Yu said softly. I mean, if this time Qin Chu doesn't come back, what do you plan to do? Huamin's eyes darkened and he remained silent. Are you going to die with him like last time? Su Yu asked with a heavy heart. I won't let anything happen to Qin Chu. Wuxia forced us into a corner, so I won't let him kill me. You have a solution? Hearing Huamin say this, Su Yu hurriedly asked. There's one, but it's not fully formed yet, so I won't talk about it for now. Huamin smiled and raised his head to look at Su Yu's living room. Your home is so luxurious. How is this a home? This is more like an aquarium. Huamin looked at the various fish swimming around in the tempered glass above his head and around him. His mood was like that of an aquarium. I like living in the ocean, especially the fish. Why? Huamin asked Su Yu with a smile. Because fish only have 7 seconds of memory. Once they turn around, they forget everything that happened 7 seconds ago, so they don't have any worries. I envy them. Huamin shook his head. I don't think that's a good idea. Why not? Su Yu looked at Huamin in confusion. Although some memories are not good and can be ignored, good memories can also be forgotten. If someone important appeared in your life and you also forget about them, then there's no point in missing them. Then there's no meaning in living. Su Yu, If I die one day, will you forget me? Huamin remembered asking him this question before. To Su Yu, this was a cruel question, but it was also a fact that could happen. Chapter 1528. No, I won't, Su Yu said faintly. Then, he added, unless I die. Huamin remained silent. Huamin, don't make me forget you, I don't want to. No matter what happens, I don't want to forget you. I feel like your appearance in my life is a gift from the heavens, so don't take away my only right. Thinking back to the time when Huamin operated on Qin Chu to remove the bullet, Huamin was prepared to die. So, she used the bullet shell Su Yu gave her to beg Su Yu to forget about him. To Huamin, that might have been a relief. But to Su Yu, it was a cruel request. Thinking about it now, her heart still ached. I won't. If you want to remember, then keep it in your heart. Huamin wasn't so selfish anymore. She understood Su Yu's precious feelings for her. Hurry up and eat, it's going to get cold soon. Su Yu smiled, changed the topic, and continued to eat. Huamin wasn't in a good mood, therefore, she drank more than half of the bottle of baijiu, while Su Yu only drank about 2 ounces. Huamin held her wine glass. Then she sighed slightly. Su, did you know? I used to think that I would never be able to be with Qin Chu. At that time, I thought I should just let it go and be an ordinary person, live an ordinary life, and forget about the past. I even compromised with reality and planned to marry Ning Ziyuan, but then, he suddenly came back and changed everything. At first, I was angry. Although I still liked him, I thought he was too selfish. He left and came back as he pleased. What did he think I was? But now, when I found out the truth, I realized that I could do too little for Qin Chu, and he did too much for both of us. Su Yu didn't say anything. He just looked at Huamin quietly. Her eyes were like the stars in the night sky, shining brightly. When she spoke, there was a different charm to her. Su Yu cherished every minute and second of being alone with Huamin, because he didn't know when he would have such an opportunity again. Perhaps it would be the last time. Therefore, he remained silent and did not interrupt. He just watched Huamin talk. Huamin was usually a man of few words. Perhaps it was because he was in a bad mood today, or perhaps it was because of the alcohol. In short, she suddenly opened up her heart and was willing to tell Su Yu a lot of things. 7 years ago, I was the one who suggested the breakup, Huamin said with a smile. Now that he thought about it, he was really capricious. So you were the one who dumped him back then? Su Yu asked with a smile. Yes. At that time, I thought Uncle Jing's death was caused by the Qin family, and it was because of me. My mom hated me to the core. I hated myself to the core, so I transferred my hatred to Qin Chu. At the graduation ceremony, we were going to go on stage together and announce that we were going to study in the States, but that night, I broke up with him in front of the entire school. He was shocked, wasn't he? Su Yu suddenly felt sympathy for Qin Chu. At that time, Qin Chu must have been very sad about the sudden breakup. After all, he was still young and full of vigor. He was shocked. Not only that, but I also said a lot of heartless things. I wanted us to break up just like that. No matter how great our love is, it can't beat the entanglement of family. Plus, there was a bloody human life in between. That incident followed me for 7 years. I couldn't breathe because of it, and Qin Chu paid for our love. He went to the States alone for 7 years. Later, I found out that it was a bet between Qin Chu and his father. He was willing to use 7 years of loneliness in a foreign country in exchange for a lifetime of being with me. So when Qin Chu was young, his wish was? Su Yu was a little touched. Chapter 1529. When he was young, Qin Chu's wish was to marry Huamin, Huamin said with a happy smile. Then congratulations, your wish came true, Su Yu said with a hint of jealousy. Yeah. He's actually a very stubborn person. If he has something on his mind, he won't say it out loud, but he'll do it with his actions. In comparison, I'm not as good as Qin Chu. In the past 7 years, I went to college in China and even found a boyfriend. So, my love for Qin Chu isn't as deep as his love for me. That was before. Now, you're not any less than him. Su Yu felt that Huamin was ordinary. Yeah, people's hearts are mutual. When I found out that Qin Chu endured so much for us to be together, I began to reflect on myself and try to make up for it. I want to be good to him and protect him. But you know, I'm a newbie. Usually, when I get into trouble, he's the one who cleans it up for me. The only time I helped him was because he was willing to give me a chance. Otherwise, I'd still be a nobody. You seem to know him very well. Yeah, over the years, it's like we know each other. Although we can be impulsive sometimes, once you calm down and analyze it, you'll understand why he's doing what he's doing. When Qin Chu got divorced, I was furious at first. I even scolded him. But after thinking about it, I realized that he probably had his reasons. What reasons? So you asked, it's about something very important. I'll tell you about it later. So, you're telling me all this today to tell me that you love Qin Chu very much? No matter how much I like you, you can't accept me, right? Su Yu smiled bitterly. I'm telling you all this because you'll meet many people in your life, and you'll have many relationships. Whether it's family, friendship, or love, as long as someone treats you with sincerity, it's precious. Maybe to outsiders, your feelings for me are like a child's jealousy, and you want me more because you can't have me. But I don't think that's the case. You're actually very similar to Qin Chu in many ways. You're both stubborn, and once you like something, it's hard to change it. So, I won't try to persuade you to forget me or give up on me. You're right, it's your right to like whoever you like. Not many people are willing to give up on each other, and even fewer are willing to give up on each other. That's why I cherish the relationship between me and Qin Chu so much. Huamin became a chatterbox today. Sometimes, she would talk about her life, and it was like chicken soup for the soul. Su Yu was extremely smart, so how could he not understand what she was saying? Huamin's feelings for Qin Chu could be said to be undeniable, but even so, Su Yu still didn't want to give up on her obsession with Huamin. Huamin was right. There were so many people in this world, and their feelings were so complicated. But how many of them were sincere? Even if they were, how long could they last? Why would there be a 7-year itch? It was because most people would lose themselves after a dull life. They wouldn't even cherish this hard-won relationship. Not many people were willing to grow old together, especially in today's flashy society. Su Yu, Huamin said gently. HM? He raised his head and looked at her with a doting gaze. Chapter 1530. I'm going to protect Mr. Qin forever. In the world of love, one person can't just do everything. I can't let Mr. Qin get too tired. He's so young and has already suffered so much that he shouldn't. My heart aches for him, so I'm going to protect him forever. Huamin expressed his determination. Okay, Su Yu replied with a simple word, but his heart was filled with mixed feelings. Huamin picked up his glass and said, Here's a toast to you. Thank you for never hitting Qin Chu when he was in trouble, even though you were his rival in love. Thank you for always helping me when I was in trouble. Thank you for protecting my reputation by not exposing my whereabouts. Thank you for setting off fireworks on my birthday. Thank you for giving me bullet shells. Thank you for singing for me at the anniversary celebration. Su Yu, you're really good. You showed me your manly side. A gentleman should be magnanimous. I, Huamin, may not be a saint, but my man must be someone who can accept the world, not someone who uses despicable means to achieve his goals. I think that if I didn't know Qin Chu, I might have chosen you as my boyfriend, because there's so much about you that I respect. Are you complimenting me? Su Yu smiled. I'm just telling the truth. That's too much of a compliment. Su Yu picked up his glass as well. The two glasses clinked gently, and then they both drank the wine in one gulp. Huamin's cheeks began to redden after he finished his glass of wine. Your face is so red. Su Yu tilted his head and looked at Huamin. Huamin held his face in his hands and leaned back on the sofa behind him. They say that people who drink and blush are worth befriending. Bullshit. You're a doctor, how can you be so superstitious? Your face turns red when you drink because your liver is affected and can't break down the alcohol in time, so it shows on your skin. Wow. Not bad, I didn't know you were so knowledgeable. Huamin looked at Su Yu with a smile. What do you think? I'm a top student at the military academy, okay? Lord Su said proudly. Su Yu saw that the bottle of wine was gone, so he stood up to get more. Huamin waved his hand. Let's call it a day. If we drink any more, we're both going to throw up. Okay. I'll make you a pot of tea? It's okay, I should go. Huamian glanced at her watch and stood up slowly. So soon? Su Yu was reluctant to see her leave. Not so fast. It's been more than 3 hours. Su Yu looked at his phone. Huamin arrived at 10 a.m., and it was already 1 a.m. I'll drive you. It's okay, I'm not going home. I'm going to Seductive Fox. Why are you going there? Su Yu was confused. I just made an appointment with Rick. We texted and chatted. He's a good friend of Qin Chu's, so I think he's done a lot to help us. Then I'll drive you to Seductive Fox. It's okay, Rick already sent someone to pick me up. You drank a lot, so get some rest. Okay then. Su Yu was slightly disappointed. He walked Huamin to the door and watched her get into a black Mercedes-Benz before returning home. He carefully put Huamin's dishes and soup in the fridge. The next morning when he was eating, Tang Chuan came in and saw Su Yu eating leftovers. He was so shocked that his jaw almost dropped. Ever since he was a kid, Su Yu had never eaten leftovers. Now, he was eating food from the fridge that didn't look good. Tang Chuan was speechless, of course. He didn't know that this was Huamin's masterpiece. On the top floor of Seductive Fox, when Huamin arrived, Rick was in his office talking to the U.S. headquarters in English. Rick, you wanted to talk to me? Huamin asked slightly. Chapter 1531. Huamin, have a seat first. Rick waved his hand and gestured for Huamin to sit down. Then, they talked for a while longer before hanging up. Huamin, have you thought of a way to save Qin Chu? I have an idea, but it's not the right time yet, Huamin said nervously. I don't think it's a good idea, right? Because it's the last resort. Huamin, I tried to assassinate Huasiqian myself. Huamin was surprised. However, when he remembered that Huasiqian was still alive, he knew that Rick had failed. I thought that he would be killed, but he captured Cici. Huamin's face darkened. All he can do is use those despicable methods. Yeah. I always thought that family members shouldn't be implicated. We shouldn't touch women. You're wrong. Huasiqian doesn't care about these things. He only wants results, so he doesn't care about the bottom line. I overestimated him. That's why the assassination failed. I feel sorry for Qin Chu. Rick was still feeling very guilty. Don't say that. You tried your best. That's why I called my family. My brother is now the head of the family. Huamin heard from Qin Chu that Rick's brother, Lino, was a famous mafia boss in the States. He was a very influential person. Qin Chu saved my brother's life, and we've always treated him as a good friend. So this time, we can't just stand by and do nothing when Qin Chu is in trouble. Are you guys going to? From Rick's tone, it seemed like Huamin already knew what they were going to do. That's right. After the first trial, we plan to blow up the van and save Qin Chu. Break out of prison? Huamin asked Rick. Huamin was silent for a few seconds. If he escapes, then he will have to bear the crime of murder for the rest of his life. That's nothing. The world is so big, why do you have to stay in China? You and your families can go to the United States. Qin Chu's uncle is very powerful there. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think he'll agree. Huamin said worriedly. Why not? Qin Chu won't let Huasiqian go, whether it's for public or private reasons, Huamin said slowly. In public, it was because Huasiqian had framed Qin Chu. This grudge had to be avenged. Song Yisher was Mayor Song's daughter, and the Song family was a family friend of the Qin family. How could they investigate this matter clearly? It didn't seem likely that Qin Chu would run away with his tail between his legs just to save his life. Rick didn't think about this before, so when he heard Huamin's words, he was conflicted again. How about this? Let's see if there's a way out. If it really comes down to it, we'll have to break out of prison. Okay. Huamin nodded. That's all. I just want to discuss with you how to save Qin Chu. Cece, is she okay? She's in shock and is being protected at home. Comfort her. After all, her world is very simple and she hasn't seen anything like this. I know. Then I'm leaving. Huamin turned around and walked out. Just as he was about to leave, Rick suddenly shouted, Huamin. Yeah. Hang in there. Qin Chu will be fine. I know, I'll always protect Mr. Qin. I won't let him get hurt again. Actually, Qin Chu told me about your background. Do you want to? No. Huamin refused immediately. She didn't want to hear Rick tell her about her background. In the end, Huamin added, I want to wait for Qin Chu to come back and hear it from him. He promised me that. Rick's lips moved. He suddenly felt that Huamin was an amazing woman. She wasn't the kind of little white rabbit that would cry and beg for help when her man was in trouble. She wasn't the kind of heartless woman who would abandon Qin Chu and run away alone. He suddenly thought of the words on the invitation to Qin Chu and Huamian's wedding, together through thick and thin. It seemed like Huamin really wanted to be with Qin Chu through thick and thin, no matter when and what happened. At the same time, in a remote corner of the detention center, a tall and slender figure stood quietly in front of the metal gate. Chapter 1532. Qin Chu wasn't surprised by what Wuxia had done to him. He knew that Wuxia was ambitious. He wasn't worried about his current situation. He just regretted not hugging Huamin more that night. When he left, he said goodbye so casually. He didn't expect to never leave the Municipal Public Security Bureau. He hadn't seen Huamin for 3 days and 3 nights. When he was on a business trip, he could still video call her or occasionally send her WeChat messages. But now, he didn't have any way to contact her. He really missed her. Me? Are you okay now? Are you worried about me? What really made it difficult for Qin Chu to sleep and feel uneasy was the pressure that Huamin had to bear alone. He really regretted falling into Wuxia's trap so easily. Actually, it wasn't Qin Chu's fault that he didn't think too much. It was because Wuxia's methods were too vicious. Qin Chu and Huamin didn't expect Wuxia to kill Song Yishe in such a cruel way. Song Yishe wasn't an ordinary socialite. She was Mayor Song's daughter. That was why Wuxia was so crazy. Qin Chu vaguely remembered that Song Yishe had complained many times that Wuxia was a pervert and wouldn't divorce her. He kept dragging it out. At first, they all thought that Wuxia wanted to use Mayor Song's reputation to make money. Now, they realized that he had planned this step long ago. And Song Yishe was a chess piece that had been arranged long ago to be abandoned. That was why Wuxia said that Song Yishe had her value. Perhaps they didn't know that Wuxia had already had this idea when he first met Song Yishe. It was because she was the mayor's daughter that her death would cause a sensation. Even someone as smart as Qin Chu didn't expect such a surprise plan. Even a genius like Huamin couldn't do anything. Wuxia wasn't smart, he was just too good at scheming. Perhaps it had a lot to do with the fact that he grew up in the Hua family. Everyone in the Hua family was scheming. Every time they met and ate noodles together, they looked like they were friendly on the surface, but behind the scenes, they were filled with hostility. Therefore, over the years, Wuxia had developed a habit. Every move had to be careful, and then, he's to kill Huamian. Qin Chu calculated that the day of the first trial was almost here, and Mian would come to attend. Would be able to see her then. Wuxia's Hua, as was she. Just like that, Qin Chu sat quietly in the dark room. He relied on his longing for Huamin to get through every difficult night. It was just like 7 years ago when he was alone in a foreign country. Whenever he thought about how he could marry Huamin after he returned to China and be together for the rest of his life, he would feel very happy. This was the only belief that supported him. The next morning, at 7 o'clock, Huamin received a call from Yang. A young lady. Come to the company quickly. What's wrong? A lot of senior executives are jumping ship. We can't keep the situation under control. Wait for me, I'll be there soon. Huamin woke up at Sky Blessing Court and drove Jixin's Chevrolet Bumblebee to the company. When she arrived at the company, she realized that the company was indeed a mess. Recently, she had been thinking about Qin Chu. She thought that the company was fine. She didn't expect it to be a riot. A young lady? Bella and Young arrived at the company early in the morning. What's the situation now? 16 of our 21 department heads handed in their resignation letters today. They don't even want their remaining salary and bonuses. They went to the whole corporation? Huamin asked. Yang and Bella didn't dare to say more and nodded. Huamin took a deep breath. She knew that Huasiqian, that bastard, would always kick her when she was down, taking advantage of Qin Chu's absence. So, he began to fan the flames and poach her. Chapter 1533. Which departments are the ones that left? They're all the main departments. Only advertising, public relations, finance, security, cleaning, and storage are left. The rest have all left. The company can't operate anymore, it's a mess. Did the employees leave too? No, only the department heads left, but they also took a lot of elites with them, Bella said. What about the deputy head? Huamin asked. The deputy head didn't leave, but in terms of ability, don't worry about ability right now. Tell them that it's my idea to promote the deputy heads of each department to full managers. Senior employees who have worked at the company for more than 5 years will be promoted to deputy heads. If there aren't any with more than 5 years, then 3. Yang seemed hesitant. Go. That's all we can do for now. The company can't stop operating, Huamin ordered. Okay, we'll do it right away. Wait a minute. A young lady, what is it? Broadcast the news that the unpaid salaries of the employees who left will be divided equally among the remaining employees. Thank you for not leaving when the company was in danger. Also, I want to tell everyone that President Qin is fine. These are all temporary. Huamin felt a little dizzy after giving out orders. Maybe it was because he hadn't been eating or sleeping well, but he was very tired. Just then, someone knocked on the office door. Come in, Huamin said tiredly as he massaged his temples. Sister Mion, why are you back? Weren't you filming in another city? Huamin was surprised to see Ni Yang. How can I be in the mood to film when the company is in such a big mess? Ni Yang walked over. Seeing Huamin's dark circles, Qin Chu's heart ached for him. He turned around and poured a cup of hot tea for Huamin and placed it on the desk. Sis, President Qin is detained and the company is in a mess. It's been hard on you. What's hard on me? These are just experiences. No one can live a worry-free life from birth to death. That's not realistic. Since you've chosen the sky, you won't yearn for beautiful weather. If you've chosen the sea, you won't wish for smooth sailing. This bowl of chicken soup is awesome, I'll drink it. You little brat. Huamin laughed as he looked at Ni Yang. Sis, is there anything I can help you with? No, just focus on your acting and singing. But I really want to do something for you. Ni Yang was a very grateful person. If it weren't for Huamin, he wouldn't have been able to reconcile with his mother. She would not have a warm family and a cute and mischievous younger brother. Also, her healthy body was given to her by Huamin. There's really no need. These things aren't that simple. I'll take care of it. Trust me. You're such a brave woman. Ni Yang looked at Huamin. His heart ached, but he also admired her courage. How are you and Jie? Pretty good. After she went back to the hospital, she's been a lot busier and we don't have much time to see each other. However, my mom often asks her to come over for dinner. That's good, treat her well. I know. Huamin looked at his watch and quickly stood up. Are you going out? Ni Yang asked. Yeah. Let me walk you out, sis. It's okay, I'm going to see someone very important. After speaking, Huamin grabbed her bag and walked out of GK headquarters. At the entrance of City Hall, as soon as Mayor Song walked out, Huamin ran up to him. Hey, what are you doing? His assistant and bodyguards immediately stopped him. Mayor Song, can you give me some time? I want to talk to you. Huamin looked at Song Yisher's father with pleading eyes. Chapter 1534. Between you and me, there's nothing to talk about. Mayor Song's face darkened, as if he was hostile towards Huamin. He was certain that Qin Chu hurt his daughter because he couldn't let go of his feelings for Huamin. Song Yisher wanted to be with Qin Chu her whole life. However, Qin Chu only had eyes for Huamin, which led to Song Yisher's tragedy. Now, whenever he thought about his daughter's tragic death, and how it had something to do with Qin Chu and Huamin, Mayor Song's heart was filled with hatred. He no longer liked Qin Chu, and he no longer admired Huamin. Mayor Song, it's not as simple as you think. My daughter is already dead, and it's all because of you. What else do you want? Mayor Song looked at Huamin with red eyes. Song Yisher's death was a huge blow to the Song couple. Lady Song fell sick and was still in the hospital. Mayor Song was busy with work, so he had to work every day. However, he still couldn't get over this. After all, he only had one daughter, and now she died in the hands of others. Mayor Song, Qin Chu didn't kill anyone. Your daughter wasn't killed by Qin Chu. Huamin anxiously explained. The evidence is clear. What's the point of saying this now? There's no point in saying this to me. Go talk to the police. Anyways, my daughter's death won't be in vain. I will make you pay with your blood. After speaking, Mayor Song flicked his sleeves and left. Huamin wanted to chase after him, but he was stopped by his bodyguards. It seemed like Mayor Song already believed that Qin Chu killed his daughter, and he hated Qin Chu to the core. Gao Ran also said that Mayor Song had already ordered the court to make the murderer pay with his life. Huamin originally wanted to explain to Mayor Song and see if there was a way out. To his surprise, Mayor Song didn't even give him a chance to speak. It seemed that Wuxia was too thorough. He made Mayor Song believe that Qin Chu was the murderer. There was so much evidence. Most importantly, there was Song Yisher's personal diary. This was too ruthless. Huamin believed that Song Yisher's diary must have been written by herself, but the content was not true at all. She wouldn't have written such a diary in advance just to make things up and frame Qin Chu. She must have written that diary under Wuxia's threat. Song Yisher must have been controlled by Wuxia before she died. There was no doubt about that. Unfortunately, so many people didn't know the truth and insisted that Qin Chu was the murderer. Huamin was fuming with anger. When he drove back to GK's headquarters, Huamin saw a lot of people making a scene. Many shareholders surrounded the entrance of the company. After the news that Qin Chu was a murder suspect got out, GK's stock price fell again. Like a roller coaster, the stock price went up and down. Many shareholders felt depressed and couldn't accept it. In the end, they blamed GK for everything. Look, that looks like Lady Qin's car. Let's go and get justice. Then, a group of middle-aged women in their 40s surrounded Huamin's car. They forced him to stop the car. Get out of the car, vampire. You're a bitch. You only know how to scam ordinary people. Yeah, profiteer. Get out of the car. Your husband is in jail now. Are you going to pay us back our hard-earned money? Please get out of the car. Don't be a coward. Yeah, Mrs. Qin, please give us an explanation. I've bought so many shares of GK, and I'm going to go bankrupt from the losses. Yeah, if the market doesn't recover soon, we'll be on the roof. You have to give us an explanation today. Chapter 1535. You profiteers are the most hateful. You play us, the common people, in the palm of your hand. You eat delicacies every day, but we have to tighten our belts and live a hard life. You vampires, come down and give us an explanation. While the shareholders came to cause trouble, there were also a lot of reporters surrounding them. They were waiting for some valuable news. Some of them even fanned the flames and didn't care if things got out of hand. They magnified the issue and the conflict as much as they could, trying to stir up trouble. More and more people surrounded Huamin's car. The curses grew louder and louder. Just then, the car door opened, and Huamin slowly walked out. When she walked out, for some reason, those people automatically took a few steps back. Huamin's face was calm, without any anger or fear. She quietly looked around and asked, "You just said that you want me to give you an explanation. What explanation?" Just then, an auntie rushed up, pointed at Huamin's nose, and yelled, "Stop playing dumb. Everyone knows that GK is the worst. I thought that the crash was the last time, but after it recovered, I was sure that you guys bought a lot more." Who knew that you would release negative news about murder? Now my stocks are stuck, and I'm almost out of stock. Hurry up and pay for it. Yeah, hurry up and pay up, cut the crap. Some of the auntie also joined in the commotion. Huamin chuckled and looked at the auntie. You're not a newbie anymore, don't you know that the stock market is a gamble? Since it's a gamble, there are profits and losses. If everyone made money, the world would be peaceful. You're asking us for an explanation when you lose money. What about when you make money? When the stock price hit its upper limit, did you buy me a piece of candy? Did you? Did you? Did you? Huamin asked harshly. That's our own money, we won because we were lucky. What does it have to do with you? Why should we buy you candy? The auntie continued to defend herself. If that's the case, then you're just unlucky to lose money. What does it have to do with me if you lose money? That's because GK paid for the shares I bought. Which law in our country says that if you lose money, you have to ask the company for money? The auntie was instantly speechless. Don't be unreasonable. I know that there are a lot of people who kick people when they're down. Although GK isn't peaceful right now, it's not for you guys to cause trouble. Your husband is a murderer, so you are definitely not a good bird. A middle-aged woman suddenly scolded. Huamian and Huamian. The Hua of Huamin, of course. It's not up to you guys to decide if my husband is a murderer or not. There's justice in this world. I believe in the saying that God is watching what people do. Good and evil will be rewarded. As for the money, don't even think about it, it has nothing to do with me. I'm not the Virgin Mary, I don't have the heart of a savior to sympathize with you guys. Don't force me, I'm not a pushover. Bitch, you're still trying to find excuses? You're going to get us killed. I'm going to kill you. Suddenly, an auntie threw a bottle of mineral water at Huamian. It flew straight at Huamin's head. If it really hit him, he might get hurt. Chapter 1536. Huamin reacted quickly and caught it with his bare hands. Then he forcefully twisted it open and took a sip. He smiled. I'm thirsty, thank you for the water, bitch. I'm so pissed off, how can I? The middle-aged woman pounced on Huamin again. Huamin spat out the water that he hadn't swallowed onto the woman. Her face and body were instantly covered in water. How dare you spit on me? Sorry, I didn't do it on purpose. Huamin smiled. What are you guys waiting for? Beat this bitch to death. The middle-aged woman instigated the people around her. Before the others could react, Huamin slowly said, do whatever you want. I have HD cameras in front of my company. If anyone touches me, none of you will be able to escape. Also, my husband insured me for a huge amount of money a year ago, 50 million for my head. I suggest you guys hit me in other places, they're cheaper. It's only 20 to 30 million. If you can't afford it, don't worry. You can pay it off by going to jail. You'll be able to pay it off after 20 or 30 years. Go ahead, I promise I won't touch you. Come on. After speaking, Huamin opened his arms and looked around with a smile. The strange thing was, no one dared to move. This was a young lady from GK. Even though she was divorced, she was still a multi-billion-dollar rich woman. She really did have a huge insurance policy. It wasn't a bluff. So, at a time like this, who would be stupid enough to hit someone? The key was that they couldn't afford to hit her. Do you guys still want to hit me? Huamin looked around and asked. There were so many people around, but no one dared to make a sound. If you guys aren't going to hit me, then I'm going to work at the company. Can you move aside? Huamin directly walked out of the crowd. Not only did no one dare to stop him, but some people even made way for him, afraid that if they bumped into Huamin, something would happen to him. A small and weak woman, with just a few words, had shocked hundreds of shareholders. As soon as the news spread, it immediately became a hot topic. Huamin instantly gained countless fans after the video went viral on the internet. The number of fans soared. There were fewer and fewer voices of defamation. Most of the reviews were positive. Huamin, you are so strong. If I were you, I would have collapsed long ago. Dr. Hua, you're so awesome. I really like your personality. Mian, you're still so awesome. You're so mighty and domineering. Huh, did you scare those unreasonable aunties? Hang in there. Everything will pass. I believe that Mr. Qin won't kill anyone. Go for it, career woman. I'll always support you. Dr. Hua, we are Dr. Zhang's fans. We will always be on your side. Good luck. When Huamin saw the comments on Weibo, he didn't feel happy at all. She didn't care about the netizens' attitude. Whether it was good or bad, it didn't matter. If only Mayor Song could trust him and give him a chance to speak up and see Hua Xiqian's true colors. A young lady, it's time for dinner. I'm not eating. You guys can go. Huamin lowered his head and went through piles of documents in his office. Bella and Assistant Yang's hearts ached as they watched him. If President Qin was here, he wouldn't be able to stand seeing his wife so tired. Assistant Yang suddenly missed his boss so much that he started crying out loud. Hey, are you okay? You're a man, why are you crying? Bella was speechless. I miss my boss. Assistant Yang wiped his tears. If Qin Chu didn't give him a chance, he would still be a small employee. How could he have the chance to be the president's assistant? Although President Qin was strict and never smiled, he was actually very nice to Assistant Yang. He gave him all the vacations and bonuses he deserved. Assistant Yang felt that his life was perfect. He even imagined working at GK for many years and then retiring. What a perfect life that would be. Now that President Qin was in trouble, everyone was in a state of panic. Many people took advantage of him and left GK. Perhaps it was because he had been suppressing himself for so long that Assistant Yang started crying. Huamin looked up and saw the two assistants in front of him. He sighed slightly and asked, "Do you guys trust me?" Chapter 1537. I believe you, Bella said. I believe you too. Yang wiped his tears and said slowly, Since you believe me, then don't think too much. Qin Chu will be fine. He will come back. We also believe that the president didn't kill anyone. Bella nodded, full of positive energy. Then go and eat. Huamin smiled. A young lady, what about you? I'm not hungry. After Bella and Yang left, Huamin finished his work and leaned back. He took a nap on the chair. Recently, he had been sleepy too easily. Was it because spring was coming, and he was sleepy in spring and tired in autumn? Huamin fell asleep in a daze. Su family mansion, you lost again. Lord Su put down the chess in his hand and looked at his grandson sitting opposite him. Grandpa, your chess skills have improved again. Su Yu smiled. Don't talk nonsense. I think you have something on your mind. How can you beat me when you're absent-minded? Huh, you can tell? Su Yu scratched his head in embarrassment. It seemed like he couldn't play tricks in front of his grandpa. Tell me, what is it? Can I help? Yes, absolutely, Su Yu immediately replied. Tell me. Grandpa, can you promise me first? Acting first and reporting later is useless to me. I'll say it again, tell me first, and I'll decide. Old Master Su rolled up his sleeves and sipped the tea that his adjutant had poured for him. Grandpa, are you involved in the 327 homicide case? Is it the case of Old Song's daughter? Lord Su asked casually. Yes, that case. Su Yu nodded vigorously. Then he sat down next to Lord Su. Continue. Master Lord Su took a sip of tea. The suspect in that case is my friend's family. So, I was wondering if you could give an order for my friend to meet her family. Lord Su directly refused. Why? Su Yu asked, unwilling to give up. I said no, so I said no. Also I don't care who your friends are, you can't get involved in this. Old Song's daughter died a horrible death, and the province is very concerned about it. Don't cause trouble for me at this sensitive time. Grandpa, don't say any more. That's all. Lord Su put down his teacup and got up to leave. Su Yu was slightly disappointed. When he was drinking with Huamin last night, Su Yu could clearly feel Huamin's deep love for Qin Chu. He also saw Huamin's longing for Qin Chu. Now that Qin Chu was detained, no one could see him. Su Yu used his connections to ask, but he couldn't do it. In the end, he could only ask his grandpa to at least let Huamin and Qin Chu meet. However, he didn't expect his grandpa to reject him so straightforwardly. Actually, this wasn't an ordinary case. It involved Mayor Song's family, so it was naturally sensitive. As the leader of the military, his grandpa wouldn't get involved in this mess for no reason. Suicide? He felt guilty that he couldn't help Huamin. At the same time, at the headquarters of the Hua Corporation. President Hua, a lady wants to see you. She says she's your girlfriend. The female secretary reported carefully. My girlfriend? Hua Xiqian was slightly surprised. It shouldn't be Mo Shui. She always came and went directly. She wouldn't tell his secretary about his girlfriend. Let her in. When Wang Xiaxia walked in, she was wearing a long dress that reached the floor. She was very pretty. Xiqian, she said softly, her voice low. What are you doing here? Hua Xiqian glanced at her face coldly, seemingly unhappy. Chapter 1538. Wang Xiaxia didn't say anything. She slowly walked over, took out a lab report from her bag, and placed it in front of Hua Xiqian's desk. What's this? Hua Xiqian glanced at it and asked coldly. You'll know when you see it. Hua Xiqian picked it up and glanced at it. Then he looked up and stared at Wang Xiaxia. You're pregnant? Yeah. Wang Xiaxia lowered her head shyly and smiled. Whose child is it? Wang Xiaxia's expression changed drastically upon hearing this. Xiqian, how can you ask that? Of course it's yours. What? I don't remember ever having sex with you. Hua Xiqian sneered. He remembered that ever since he met Wang Xiaxia and kept her captive, he had been abusing her. Occasionally, he would play some perverted games with her. However, he always used a condom and didn't do it himself. How could she be pregnant? A month ago, that night, you came, that's enough. Stop making up stories. The child can't be mine. I'm not interested in a woman who betrays me. Pack up your things and get out. Xiqian, it's really yours. I swear, if I lie to you and make up stories, I'll die a horrible death. I don't have another man. Ever since I got together with you, I rarely go out. If you don't believe me, you can check my phone. I'm not interested. Hua Xiqian was still cold. Then you can take me to get my amniotic fluid drawn and do a DNA test. I've been spending a lot of time with Mo Shui recently. When I get drunk, I don't sleep with you. Don't threaten me with the child. If you want money, I can give you money. However, don't expect anything that doesn't belong to you. I really didn't. Wang Xiaxia's tears flowed down uncontrollably. She thought that her pregnancy was a good thing and Hua Xiqian would be happy. After all, he was in his 30s and didn't have a child. If she gave birth to this child, then her status would rise. However, she didn't expect Hua Xiqian to deny the child. Her heart sank. Xiqian, do you really not remember? That night, you came to find me. That's enough. You bitch, get the hell out of here. Abort the child, pack up your things and get the hell out of here. Xiqian, don't worry, I will give you a sum of money. I won't let you be played for nothing. His words were vicious. Even if Wang Xiaxia wanted to explain, Hua Xiqian wouldn't give her any chance. In the end, she could only walk out of the office in tears. Before she left, she heard Hua Xiqian say sarcastically, I really don't know where this child came from. Did she get pregnant on her own? What a joke. Wang Xiaxia thought it was hilarious. A month ago, there was a night when she almost fell asleep. That night, it was very cold outside, and it was snowing heavily. When the doorbell rang, she ran over. Through the door mirror, he saw that it was Hua Xiqian who opened the door. He didn't say a word. As soon as he entered the room, he pushed her down, stripped her naked, and then, after he was done, he didn't even take a shower before he took his clothes off the bed and left. Wang Xiaxia was so scared that she hid under the covers and didn't dare to move. After that, Hua Xiqian rarely went over. Even when he did, he didn't say a word about what happened that night. Wang Xiaxia didn't think that she would get pregnant. Ever since she got together with Hua Xiqian, other than that night, he didn't touch her. Therefore, she didn't prepare to take contraceptives. When she found out that she was pregnant, she was first shocked, then pleasantly surprised. She thought that he would be happy, but who knew? Now, such a big shot with such a high status wouldn't even admit to what happened that night. She really had to suffer in silence. Wang Xianxia returned to her apartment and began to pack her things. She planned to go back to her hometown for a while. She planned to wait until her belly got bigger. Suddenly, a group of men in black suits barged into her apartment. "What are you doing?" "Or you?" Wang Xianxia panicked. Chapter 1539. Boss said you can't leave until the baby is aborted. Then she dragged Wang Xianxia out. "Help, let go of me." When Wang Xianxia woke up again, it was already after the surgery. She touched her flat abdomen. You just had an abortion. Rest well, don't catch a cold." The nurse's words made Wang Xiaxia's heart sink. She knew that he was the one who did it. He was so cruel. Whole corporation headquarters. "Boss, it's done. Okay, you can go now." "Bitch, you're pregnant with someone else's child and you still want to blackmail me. Do you think I'm an idiot if I don't teach you a lesson?" First hospital. After work in the afternoon, Huamin drove to the first hospital. Mr. and Mrs. Qin hadn't been doing well for the past few days. The news of Qin Chu's arrest spread like wildfire and couldn't be covered up even if they wanted to. When Huamin arrived, Lady Qin immediately walked over and grabbed Huamin. "Mian, how's Qin Chu?" "Mom, I don't know, I haven't seen him." "Oh, what should we do? Will my son be in danger? How could he be framed as a murderer? It's so scary, what should we do?" "Mom, don't worry, Qin Chu didn't do it. I believe he'll be fine." "Mian, come here." "Dad?" Huamin saw Qin Yumin waving at him and immediately walked over. "Thank you for your hard work at the company." "Not at all. Is there any news about Qin Chu?" "There are 3 more days until the trial." "Is it the first trial?" Huamin nodded. "I heard a lot of evidence is against Chu." Huamin lowered his head and didn't say anything. Her father-in-law was a very wise man and wasn't easy to fool, so she didn't plan to lie. "But I believe that as long as Chu didn't do it, justice will be served." "Yes, even if it's a mistake, we'll find a way to save him." "So, Dad, don't worry. Just focus on your recovery." "Did the company's stock market crash again?" Huamin fell silent again. "How much longer can you hold on?" "I don't know yet. I'm still thinking of a plan." "Mian, If necessary, we can give up the company." "It's okay. We can earn more money as long as our family is fine, Dad. I won't give up on the company. You built it single-handedly and Qin Chu worked so hard to run it. That was then and this is now. I know you're strong and can handle anything, but you're also a human, and a girl at that. You'll get tired too. Don't push yourself too hard. It's okay if the company collapses, as long as we're here." "Dad, I will remember what you said." Huamin comforted his in-laws for a while before he left the ward. Suddenly, his vision went dark, and he almost fainted. Luckily, Huamin wasn't too far away from the wall, so he leaned against it. "Miss, are you okay?" A grandma walked by and helped him up. "I'm fine, thank you, Grandma." "Do you want me to take you to the emergency room?" "No, it's okay. I think I've been too tired these past few days and didn't sleep well." Huamin smiled. "You young people are really hardworking. Sometimes, you'll work overtime for days and nights without sleep. You can't do that, you're draining your life away, kid." "I know, thank you, Grandma." Huamin thanked her again and slowly walked out of the hospital. However, just as he walked out of the hospital, he received a call from Yang. "A young lady, someone is trying to buy out our shares on a large scale." "Is it the Hua Corporation?" "It's a subsidiary company of the Hua Corporation." "Okay, I got it." Huamin listlessly hung up the phone. It seemed like Hua Xiqian had made his move again. How despicable. The series of schemes left Huamin and Qin Chu in a terrible state. Qin Chu was caught off guard. Hua Xiqian, on the other hand, had been planning this for a long time, so it was no longer a matter of intelligence. When an ambitious person coveted a treasure for a long time, he was even willing to spend 10 years planning a scheme. The person who was set up would always be flustered because they didn't have time to react. Huamin picked up his phone and dialed a number. "Mian." His voice was extremely gentle. "Hua Xiqian, let's meet," Huamin said. "Sure, Sun." How about now? I'll pick you up. Huasiqian asked. No, I'll go to the Hua mansion to find you. Okay, I'll wait for you. Huasiqian smiled wickedly. Chapter 1540. Before Huamin went to see Huasiqian, she went back to Sky Blessing Court. She changed her clothes. Maybe it was because she was in a bad mood these days, but she had been wearing dark clothes. Most of her clothes were at South Hill Manor. Even when she divorced Qin Chu, she didn't bring all her clothes back. After looking around, she only found a pure white sweater. She changed into a pair of dark blue pencil pants and a pair of flat boots. She wore a wine-red cashmere coat. Huamin looked both intellectual and elegant. She looked at herself in the mirror and felt that she looked a little pale. Before she left, Huamin carefully put a small light blue bottle in her bag. The Hua mansion, Huamin hadn't been here in a long time. Seeing this place reminded her of a lot of things. Her mother and Hua Yanyan's love and hate relationship, her past grudges with Huasi and Hua Yanyan, Grandma's funeral, Xin Jiani's begging, and Jiang Hong's coercion. Everything seemed to have happened just yesterday. However, things had changed. The Hua mansion wasn't luxurious or extravagant. It was just that the location was good and close to the city center. This was a wealthy area that was built a long time ago. However, it was a little old now. The empty mansion was no longer as glorious and lively as it used to be. Ever since Jiang Hong had moved out, the mansion was now empty. After Jiang Hong left, Huasiqian was really the only one left. He would even cook by himself. Knowing that Huamin was coming, he drove to the nearby supermarket and bought a lot of fresh ingredients. Huamin stood in front of the Hua mansion. After hesitating for a moment, she slowly pressed the doorbell. Huasiqian opened the door and smiled when he saw Huamin. "Mian, come in." He smiled gently. Huamin didn't say anything and walked in directly. She looked around the living room. It was still the same as before. "Take a seat here first. I still need a few things. I'll be done soon." Huamin didn't reply. She sat down on the sofa with her bag. Huasiqian placed a fruit plate in front of Huamin. "Me, have some fruit first. Are you hungry?" "Huasiqian, I'm not here to eat with you, I'm—" Before Huamin could finish, Huasiqian interrupted her. Listen to me today. Wait for me, the food will be ready soon." After speaking, Huasiqian walked into the kitchen. Huamin didn't say anything. She didn't smile on her face's face. After Mian, she waited for about 10 minutes. Huasiqian brought the dishes to the table one by one. Then he called out to Huamian, "Mian, dinner's ready. Come over." Huamin slowly stood up and walked over. Glancing at the table, she saw a dazzling array of seafood, vegetables, and fruit salads. There was a lot of food. There was no way the two of them could finish it all. Even 8 people couldn't finish it. They were all Huamin's favorites. There were king crabs, Australian lobsters, bamboo shrimps, mantis shrimps, giant conches. "Mian, sit down." Huamin didn't say anything and sat down. Huasiqian placed another bowl in front of Huamin. "This is brown sugar ginger water. Drink it first. You won't have a stomachache when you eat seafood later." "I'm not here to eat, I know. If you don't want to eat, you can sit with me," he said. Then, Huasiqian sat down across from Huamin and picked up a crab to eat with relish. It's still cold, so the crabs aren't that fat. But they're pretty fresh. The fishermen caught them that day. You can eat less. "I'm not eating," Huamin replied with a straight face. "I remember that you love seafood the most. I was thinking, if you come back for dinner in the future, I'll prepare a lot of seafood for you. I want you to eat to your heart's content." Huasiqian laughed as he spoke. Today, he became a chatterbox, rambling on and on. Huamin just looked at him quietly. Chapter 1541. Are you done eating? If you are, let's get to the point, Huamin asked. Go ahead, I'm listening. Huasiqian lowered his head and continued to eat the shrimp. He seemed to be in a good mood. Huasiqian, what will it take for you to let us go? Huasiqian's hand that was eating the shrimp paused for a second. Why do you ask? Don't play dumb, just tell me. If you want money, I can give you all of our money. I can even give you GK, as long as you don't hurt us. Huamin's tone was pleading. She knew that Wuxia was a psychopath, a madman who was capable of doing anything. Therefore, she begged him to stop scheming against Qin Chu. Mian, I don't want money. Wuxia raised his head and slowly stared at Huamin. Then what do you want? Huamin's brows furrowed slightly. You should know. Wuxia's gaze softened. When Huamin looked into his eyes, he felt very uncomfortable. It was a very strange feeling. Seeing that Huamin wasn't willing to speak, Huamin smiled. Wuxia smiled and said, The one I want the most has always been you. My body? You only want my body, right? No. What I want is you as a person. What I want is a lifetime. Huamin laughed upon hearing this. Wuxia, what you want is too extravagant, I can't afford it. Indeed, a lifetime was her promise to Qin Chu. She couldn't give it to anyone else. Even if Qin Chu didn't exist, she still wouldn't choose a man like Wuxia to be her lover. After all, she didn't like scumbags who didn't have a bottom line. As long as you're willing, I can spoil you, love you, and treat you well for the rest of my life. I won't even look at other women. I won't blame you for anything you did wrong. If Qin Chu treats you well, I'll treat you very well. If Su Yu treats you 100% well, I'll treat you 100% well. Mia, give me a chance? I'm strong now, and I have the right to say that I love you. Wuxia, are you done playing? Huamin looked at him coldly. You don't believe me? Wuxia was slightly disappointed. Why should I believe you? Do you mean believe? Would I believe a pervert who tramples on human lives like ants? Huh, so that's how you see me. Wuxia laughed bleakly. What else can I do? Don't you think you've gone overboard? Don't you think that what you've done is unforgivable? It is said that people are born kind, but I have known you for so many years, and I have never seen your kind side. Did you come to the wrong world? You should go to the devil world, because you are a devil. Huamin was famous for his sharp tongue. She dared to say things that others didn't dare to say. She thought that her words would be enough to anger Wuxia, but he didn't. He only chuckled softly. What are you laughing at? Huamin hated how unpredictable he was. I laughed. You've seen through me. You're right, I'm a demon, but even demons have people they want to protect. Mian, you might not know what kind of existence you are to me. There are a lot of things I'll say now, and you might not believe it, but I'm willing to use my entire life to prove that I can treat you better than Qin Chu. Other than Qin Chu, I won't accept anyone else. What if he's dead? Then I'll die too, Huamin said firmly. You're such a stubborn, silly girl. Wuxia, are you really not going to give up on Qin Chu? Huamin asked one last time. If you're willing to be with me, I'll let him go. If you love him, you can sacrifice yourself for him. You want a soulless body? Huamin sneered. Of course, why wouldn't I? As long as it's you, even if you're in a vegetative state or a corpse, I'll still want it. Wuxia said these words with a smile. If others didn't know better, they would have thought that he was joking. However, Huamin felt disgusted. Very well, if that's the case, then we have nothing else to talk about. After speaking, Huamin stood up to leave. Mian, do you think you can walk out of here? Wuxia's voice was very soft. Chapter 1542. What's wrong? Are you threatening me? I'm not threatening you. Do you think you'll walk out of here so easily today? Huamin turned around. Do you think I came here unprepared? I can tell you very clearly that no high-tech equipment will be of any use in this house. No matter how many helpers you bring outside, they will all be taken care of by my people. So, don't think about reinforcements coming to save you. I'm such an idiot in your eyes. Why would I need reinforcements and phone calls? Do you have something even more fun prepared? Do you want to try? Huamin smiled beautifully. Wuxia stared at her for a few seconds. The two of them looked at each other in silence. Both of them were smiling, but neither of them spoke. In the end, Wuxia spoke first. Mian, I don't want you to leave. Can you stay? In your dreams. She would never spend a night in this damned place again. Never again. I won't do anything to you. I just want to sleep here like last time, I swear. That's not possible. Huamin refused without hesitation. What a stubborn brat. Then I'll have to take care of Qinchu first. Do you think, if he mysteriously dies in the detention center, the police will just dispose of his body? Huasiqian smiled eerily. Don't touch Qinchu, or I'll kill your entire family. Huamin was truly furious this time. Silly girl, I don't have a family. You and I are the only ones left in the Hua family, so, don't be silly. Even if I have to die with you, I won't let you touch Qinchu ever again. You're Qinchu? You little brat, you're making me jealous? Huamin was so protective of Qinchu that Huasiqian was envious of her. You just don't have a bottom line. Was there something wrong with his values? It's just despicable. I can do that too. You're ruthless, aren't you? I can be more ruthless than you. Huasiqian laughed maniacally. Oh, you want to compete with me in terms of ruthlessness? Ha! Don't laugh so disgustingly. One day, I will make you unable to laugh anymore. Why don't you think about how to get out first? After speaking, Huasiqian slowly approached Huamin. Huamin got up and backed away. There's only the two of us here. My men are outside. They've locked down this house. Tell me, where else can you run to? Huasiqian smiled as he approached Huamin. Huasiqian, you're disgusting. You remind me of the time you attacked GK's security system and stopped the elevators. You trapped me in the building and played a game of cat and mouse. Mion, what are you talking about? Huasiqian was slightly surprised. Don't tell me you've forgotten what you did so quickly. Huamin bit down on his lips. He hated Huasiqian to the core. I really don't know what you're talking about. What building? What security system? What cat and mouse? Did you get the wrong person? Impossible. I'd recognize your face even if it turned into ashes, Huamin said with certainty. Then is there someone who looks exactly like me? Huasiqian asked. Don't pretend with me, it's you. Only you would do something so disgusting. After speaking, Huamin turned around to leave. Mian, why are you so stubborn? I told you you can't get out? Really? Then, let's try. After speaking, Huamin reached into her bag and took out a light blue bottle. What's that? Huasiqian was slightly surprised. It's something that can send you and me to hell instantly. For the first time, Huamin revealed an evil smile. Huasiqian put away his playful smile and became serious. This was the first time in all the years he had known Huamin he saw such a dangerous expression on her face. Chapter 1543. Mian, are you serious? Huasiqian laughed. What do you think? Huamin asked back provocatively. After staring at each other for about 5 seconds, Huasiqian sighed. You little brat, it's so hard to keep you for one night. Huamin remained silent. All right, don't stare at me like that. Go, I'm not keeping you any longer. Upon hearing what he said, Huamin turned around and left, however. She still held onto the light blue bottle tightly in her hand. Huasiqian didn't say anything until Huamin walked out of the Hua mansion. He just quietly looked at her back. Boss, are you going to let Miss Hua go just like that? His subordinates seemed very reluctant. After working for Huasiqian for so many years, they knew all too well how Huasiqian felt about Huamin. What else can I do? Miss Hua is just scaring us. It's just a little bottle, is it that scary? His subordinate didn't think much of it and thought that Huasiqian was being too cautious. He trusted her and let her go just because of Huamin's words and a broken bottle. Huasiqian coldly glanced at that person's face. What do you know? No one knows Mion better than I do. She never fights a battle that she's not confident in. That brat is very similar to me in one aspect. We're both ruthless. In this world, other than me and Huamin, no one is more ruthless than us. After speaking, Huasiqian yawned and walked upstairs. I'm done playing, I'm going to bed. His subordinate didn't dare to say anything else. Their boss was always weird, and most people wouldn't understand him. Huamin walked out of the Hua mansion with a heavy heart. The last snowfall before the beginning of spring fell in the north. It was shockingly heavy. Huamin parked his car in front of a shopping mall, which was a rare sight. Then he walked around aimlessly. After an unknown period of time, she felt that she was about to lose consciousness from the cold. Suddenly, a black cashmere coat was draped over her body. She turned her head and glanced at Suyu without a trace of surprise. Qin Chu was not by her side. At this time, if there was someone who could put himself in her shoes, that person would definitely be Suyu. Before Huamin could speak, Suyu said, "When Tang Chuan drove past the Bifrost, he saw you walking here alone, so he told me." "Oh." Huamin replied faintly. "It's so cold, do you want to freeze to death?" "No." Huamin was in low spirits. "Not in a good mood?" "Yeah." Huamin nodded. Tonight, when she went to negotiate with Wuxia, not only did she not get anything out of it, but it also increased her psychological burden. Wuxia accidentally mentioned that he tampered with the detention center and asked her to collect Qin Chu's body. This became a rock in her heart. It was so heavy that she couldn't breathe. "You can't take it out on your own body?" "Silly." Su Yu's cashmere coat was really warm. It instantly warmed Huamin's heart. "Do you still want to walk? I'll go with you." "No, come with me to the Sunset Cliff." "Why are we going there?" Suyu was surprised. The Sunset Cliff was a very remote cliff. Because it was close to the sea, the terrain was very steep. Other than a few mountain climbers who were willing to go there, basically no one went there. It was very sparsely populated. "I need to take care of something." After Huamin finished speaking, she followed Suyu into his Lamborghini. When they arrived at the foot of the Sunset Cliff, the mountain path was very steep. Plus, it was nighttime, so even a sports car couldn't go up. The two of them walked up. Suyu was born in the military, so he was very energetic. Huamin, on the other hand, was much frilier. Her pace slowed down. "Are you tired? Let's take a break?" Suyu asked. "No need. You only know how to hold on. I'll let you die from exhaustion." After Suyu finished speaking, he didn't care if Huamin was willing or not. He picked her up horizontally, and he placed her on his back and carried her away. "Suyu," Huamin loudly protested. Chapter 1544. "Shut up, you're so annoying." Suyu didn't give Huamin a chance to nag and carried her up the mountain. At first, Huamin wanted to come down, but no matter what she said, Suyu wouldn't say a word, so she gave up. Finally, the two of them arrived at the top of the mountain. After Suyu put Huamin down, beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Huamin saw all of this. "Am I heavy?" she asked. "It's okay, my golden retriever is just a little bit heavier." "Damn you, comparing me to your golden retriever?" Huamin was so angry that she laughed. "Don't be angry, my golden retriever is smarter than you. At least he wouldn't be stupid enough to meet the enemy alone." "You know everything? How can you hide anything from me?" Suyu glanced at Huamin indifferently. "Actually, I just wanted to see if he would let Qin Chu live if I gave him all my money. He didn't want money to begin with. What you did was stupid." Suyu scolded Huamin fiercely. "Maybe I'm just desperate? At a time like this, as long as there's a way to save Qin Chu, I want to try anything." "Really? Then if I can save Qin Chu, will you marry me?" Suyu asked calmly. Huamin looked up in shock. Perhaps she never thought that Suyu would say something like this. "Suyu, haha, I'm just kidding, did you really think I was serious?" Suyu laughed and scratched his head. Huamin was silent. She realized that all jokes had an element of seriousness. Maybe Suyu did think that at one point in time. The Su family did indeed have the strength, but the process would still be very difficult. The deceased, Song Yisher, was the mayor's daughter, so this case was extremely difficult to handle. No one was willing to get involved in this mess. "Silly. Why are you looking at me like that?" "I was just joking." Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. What do you need to do? Hurry up and... I'm freezing to death." When Suyu received Tang Chuan's call, he was having a meal with a client and discussing a cooperation project. After receiving the call, he immediately apologized and left. He did not have any extra clothes on him. Therefore, after giving the cashmere coat to Huamin, he only wore a sweater inside, which instantly froze like a dog. Huamin nodded and carefully took out a light blue bottle from his bag. Hey, what is this? Su Yu was curious and wanted to take it. However, Huamin slapped his hand away. Don't touch it. Why are you so fierce? Su Yu was startled by Huamin's fierce look. Move back. Do you have to make such a big fuss? Dr. Hua, don't scare me, I have a weak heart? Su Yu had always been joking. He thought that since Huamin wanted to deal with something in secret, it was probably some kind of contraband. Now that he saw that she took out a small bottle, he guessed that it might be some kind of top-grade poison. It might be something that Huamin had developed himself to poison Huaxiqian. Huahowever, he did not expect that. The thing was far beyond his imagination. Under Huamin's insistence, Su Yu moved back more than 10 meters. Huamin handed the bag in his hand to Su Yu and slowly walked to the edge of Sunset Cliff. He lowered his head and looked down at the dark and deep sea. Hey, silly girl, I say. Are you going to jump down from here? Su Yu was scared out of his wits. Chapter 1545. Tell me, did you really invent this? Of course. Do you think you can buy it on the market? Huamin laughed. Indeed, if the country's laws were strict, it would be hard to even buy a handgun, let alone explosives. Then, how did you make it? The principle is simple. It's a combination of multiple chemical ingredients, but I can't tell you. I'm not asking about the ingredients. I just think liquid explosives are too dangerous to carry around. Usually you have to ignite it with fire. But I saw you use something sticky. Yeah, that thing replaced the fire. You invented it yourself? Su Yu was shocked. Yes, because it's safer this way. Otherwise, I might explode into pieces. So you're going to use it against Huaxiqian? No, you're going to die with him? Su Yu asked. If he wanted to harm me, I would. But he didn't. He's afraid of death. Huamin was very straightforward. That's right, Huaxiqian was afraid of death, so he didn't dare to bet with Huamin. Huamin, I really want to worship you. Good. Huamin was speechless. But you really wasted it. Why didn't you show it to me when I wanted to see it? Huamin took care of it before he could take a good look. What a pity. Because I was afraid you would be in danger, Huamin said. No, I saw you use clay to ignite it. I don't have a detonator with me, so it won't explode. No, other than clay, high pressure will also cause it to explode. For example, if you pinch the bottle, it will explode on its own. Su Yu was speechless. I used it as a precaution. If I don't have time to grab the clay or lose it, I have to have another plan. But if you pinch it, won't you? Su Yu didn't finish his sentence, but his heart sank. That's right, we'll perish together. Then, if you're carrying this thing with you, what if you're not careful and accidentally fall and squash it? It will also explode. Any external force will cause it to explode. Fuck. Su Yu was scared. Huamin was really too daring to carry around such a thing that could explode at any time. To think that he would be so brave as to walk in the snow for so long, this woman was really amazing. Are you scared? Huamin looked at Su Yu's expression and asked with a smile. Who wouldn't be afraid? That's something that can blow people into pieces. Su Yu's forehead was covered in cold sweat. I've already dealt with it. It's fine. I didn't expect you to have such a powerful skill. Looks like I don't need to buy fireworks for Chinese New Year anymore. Just make a few for me, ha. Su Yu was indulging in fantasy. Huamin was speechless. Only someone like Su Yu would think of something as immoral as using explosives to replace fireworks. Are you hungry? Let's go eat something? Su Yu happily followed behind Huamin. At this moment, he was like a follower worshipping a god. He worshipped Huamin from the bottom of his heart. I'm not hungry. My stomach has been hurting lately. I can't eat anything. You're just too hot-tempered. I know a Hong Kong restaurant. The soup is really authentic. Let's go there. Tell me about your thoughts on developing explosives. Huamin was speechless. Su Yu was really obsessed with explosives. He looked at Huamin with great infatuation. Who would have thought that this gentle girl would be able to make such a powerful weapon? Su Yu thought that he could talk to his grandpa and have his army recruit Huamin, this genius. I really don't want to eat. Huamin politely refused. Then just treat it as eating with me, okay? Carrying a pig like you up the mountain was really exhausting. Su Yu coaxed Huamin, which was rare for him. He looked so pitiful, Huamin couldn't bear to see him like this. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.